All right, everybody, welcome back. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Hope everyone enjoyed the holidays. Tom, how are you doing, man?
Oh, good, man. Good Christmas, good New Year. How about yourself?
Pretty good, pretty good. Can't complain. Enjoyed the
Yeah,
holidays. When
yeah,
saw the
yeah.
fam. Saw the
Same,
fam.
same.
They came up. I know you took a trip. You did Tommy
I,
Sunshine was the trip.
I took a long road trip to Florida. Drove the whole way. Drove back. Saw some family. It was a good time.
But
Good to be in the
we're
sun too,
we're
compared to this
your
this this cold Jersey weather, bro.
facts. We're your lovely COVID-free hosts
Yep,
since the
COVID
trip.
free. Yeah, got tested. I'll tell you, my test wasn't bad, dude. He was just like,
Just
I
shove
pulled
that
up.
shit up your nose
They
and
came out. He's like, head back. Boom, boom. All right, you're done. I'm like, called me in like 50 minutes. He's like, you're negative. You're all good. I'm like, that, man.
say
Perfect.
less.
My eyes were
Say
watering
less.
like crazy, though.
Well, yeah,
I
I
was like,
mean, we gotta. I would have been like, bro, where did you get a Q-tip the size of my arm?
yeah, it was, that was the first time I got tested. So it was, definitely interesting.
Definitely a hell of a ride because my man's gonna be sniffling the whole show, still trying to get that
Yep.
shit out.
Yep. Yep. You know me, but my allergies go crazy. So that COVID test did not help.
Oh my God. But yeah, man, happy holidays to all our listeners. Hope you enjoyed New Year's, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. What other
Whatever you
holidays are
do,
there? Whatever you do to celebrate in the wintertime.
hope you had fun.
Hope you had fun. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you spent time with your family. And we are happy to be back after our little
Yep.
2 week hiatus. Everyone was looking around like, yo, y'all just like kind of
Like,
gave up again. And it's like,
it's
nah,
just like,
man.
nah, it's Christmas. Dog. It's
Yeah,
Christmas.
bro.
I'm away. I can't be with the fam. And, come on.
Come on. When y'all when
Give,
y'all pay us, we'll definitely be here. We'll
right.
work
I'll,
holidays.
I'll work on Christmas once the money comes in. All right.
Facts. But I think we should start off with the NFL playoffs are set. I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to toot my own horn, but the whole AFC kind of fell the way I said.
We have to give you credit because a couple episodes ago we did our predictions and your AFC I believe was completely right seating wise. You got them all right. I did not. You did. When it comes
Your
to
your
NFC, we both
fandom your fandom got involved. It's okay.
my
It's okay.
fandom got involved, which is fine, and it's still going to be involved because the Colts made it in, and we'll get to that a little later. But our AFC, your AFC was right. Both our NFCs were wrong because NFC was kind of crazy. No one really could have predicted.
Insane.
Yeah.
A lot of people folded.
Yep.
And
So
that also goes right into the main topic that I know everyone wants to hear our opinion on the Washington football
yeah.
team versus the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm sure y'all are tired of hearing about it, but
Yep.
we're going to talk about it because
You
as
have to.
former athletes, it's insane to me specifically, but let's get your input. How do you
Yeah.
feel about Jalen Hurts being pulled in the fourth quarter to get Nate Sudfeld reps
Right.
on
And I'm not
Philadelphia
even.
Eagles senior night?
I'm not even watching the game because the Colts had a game against the Jaguars. I was locked in. They made me nervous. I was like done after we got them. Like we made the playoffs. I'm good. I'm gonna go hang out, right? But then my feed's blowing up. I'm like, what's happening right now with Jalen Hurts? And like, and then I read into it. I do this thing. And I'm like, he sat a healthy player, put in a QB. Well, I know his ass. Sorry, Nate Sudfeld, your ass. We know this. Just as an NFL quarterback, you are not good.
Yeah.
You're better than me as a quarterback, but as an NFL quarterback, you suck. And they basically give the game to the Washington football team. Which, listen, even if Jalen Hurts is in the game, he wasn't playing extremely well anyway, throwing the ball. He was running well, throwing the
Hmm.
ball. We saw him, like, I feel like first couple weeks he
Some
was throwing
balls
the
in the
ball
dirt.
real well. This week it was a little backtracked with throwing, but um, obviously that's overshadowed by Sudfield coming in for him. And at first you're like, what is Doug Peterson doing? Like, what the hell's going on? And then I'm sitting back and I'm trying to think about it. I'm like, as a coach, if you do something like have we ever even seen this in football before?
Not to
I
this
can't remember.
extent. Not in the
Right, I
fourth
can't remember.
quarter down three.
So I'm thinking to beat a division rival and knock them out, right? So I'm thinking to myself, it can't just be Doug. Like Doug is a Super Bowl winning coach. It can't just be him saying, I need to get Nate some reps, and you said Hurts, right? And everyone's main reaction is, "Oh, Doug Peterson, what are you doing? You're horrible." And that was my main reaction. Then I thought about it. I'm like, no person in their right mind would do that.
Mm-hmm.
So does this, and obviously we don't have any insider info, but something like this, if you really think about it, has to come from upper management. I feel like a GM, an owner, or something is like, "Hey, Doug, we're losing the game. It's the fourth quarter. Just Paul Hurts. Throw Sudfeld in there. Let's see what the kid's got." Knowing he would suck, as he did, interception, a fumble. Like, it's Sudfeld. He's a backup. He's not a player.
Right.
So everyone hating on Doug Peterson. I was hating on him too. But when I think about it, I'm like, it's gotta be because you can't bring him back as a coach next year if that was just solely his decision. We're seeing now that players wanted to freaking fight him on the field. You saw Jalen Hurts sitting on the sidelines and look like he's saying, like, "I can't believe this shit."
Yeah, he's like, "It's not
what the
right.
hell is going on?" Yeah, he's like, "It's not right. It's not right." So there's no way to me, if it was just Doug Peterson, that you can bring him back as your coach. You're obviously showing that winning is not what you guys care about. It's about getting a better draft pick. When, like, it's not even like you're going to be top 5 anyway. So that part even confuses me a little bit.
You're moving 9 to 6. It's
yeah,
not
you're not
a huge difference.
So very confusing to me. I think it has to come from upper management, and they're not really getting any heat for it. It's all on Doug Peterson. And if it's all on Doug Peterson, then you deserve to be fired, and you can't be an Eagles coach next year, especially if Jalen Hurts is your future quarterback, which, we've talked about, and you thought maybe Wentz and him would battle it out. I think he's their future. So if he's your future anyway, you can't sit the guy when he has a chance to come back in the fourth quarter. It blows my mind. My final thought would be it has to come from a GM or ownership. It can't just be Doug by himself, or you're going to get fired.
Right. And you know what? I 95% agree. I don't think it was just I don't think it was relayed down, but I think Doug knew he had the leeway. Because everyone that has the Bleacher Report app and everything like that, you saw they said Doug Peterson's job was safe about 2 hours, 3 hours before game time. That came out that this game wasn't going to have a real effect on if they kept him or not.
Yeah.
So for me, that told me that he had leeway to do whatever he want. And they told him, to me, I think they told him, "Hey, you got one more shot at this. That Super Bowl bought you one more year. You have one more. Depending on how you perform next year is how we're going to go forward." So then Doug internally probably said, "You know what? We move from 9 to 6. We get a better player. This year's a wash anyway. Jalen, come sit." Do I hate it? Of course. You guys heard me campaign the whole year about how much I was not rooting for my team to lose and go 0-16, even if it meant Trevor Lawrence. So I think it's really disgraceful. And as a player, I don't blame any player that would have sat there and been like, "Hey, what's up?" Like they said, Jason Kelce walked up to him and asked him what was good. You see Jalen Hurts sitting there saying it's not right. You hear Miles Sanders coming out and saying, "You know what? Guys were ready to fight him. Guys were really fed up." Because you know what? Yes. Does it help the organization? Of course. But I know damn well you didn't sit in that locker room pregame and say, "All right, guys, let's just go have fun. Let's go. Let's just go enjoy the day, and whatever the outcome is, and we don't really care. Just make some plays and enjoy yourselves." He definitely said something about giving it your all, winning the game, the typical head coach,
let's go knock this football team out of the playoffs.
Exactly. And then you're about to do it, and you say, "We're going to give Nate Sudfeld reps." And I don't believe that, because him saying, "Oh, I want to see what Nate Sudfeld has." Nate Sudfeld's been on the roster for 3 to 4 years now. If you don't know what you have by then, I don't know what you're really looking at in practice.
And also, something I didn't know, they restructured his contract before the year started. Obviously, you know what kind of player he is.
It makes no sense. You know he's not a starter. And the point is, why would you not want to see Jalen Hurts in the fourth quarter there? Why is that fair to Jalen? And I've said this to multiple people. If I was Jalen Hurts, the moment I was out, if I asked why, he told me it wasn't performance-based. He just wanted to give this guy reps. The first thing I'm doing is, "All right, I'll see you in the locker room. I'm going to head out. I'm going to go get changed early then. Y'all don't need me. If you don't need me, I'm not going to sit here on the field and just watch this happen." You can talk to me after the game, call me in training camps up next year, but I'm gonna dip. Like, you're wasting my time.
Yeah.
So
It's really the craziest thing I've seen in a while from a coach.
it's
Like
insane because
decision wise.
it's so blatant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, like, what if the Jets put out James Morgan there for like the last 7 games? Like, they're like, oh, we want to see what he got. We just drafted him, so he's gonna play. Sam's shoulder hurts, and Flacco's been playing really well, so we're just gonna throw this kid in and see what happens. Like,
I got a question. Do you think I don't think they're going to. Do you think the league has any type of punishment for them?
I don't think so. I don't know really what they could do because they can hide behind we wanted to get the guy reps, and they shouldn't penalize people for that. It should just be kind of a frowned upon thing, in my opinion,
Yeah.
because, and you know what, you're gonna see, because like you said, like, there's a lot of people that probably might have been considering Philadelphia as a destination that are no longer considering that.
Absolutely.
Because they'll waste a year of your career. They will willingly waste a year of your career in order to get a better pick that will be someone to replace you anyway.
The thing I forgot to say too, which I wanted to bring up was, okay, now you have a better pick, right, from 9 to 6. Great. I think having a winning culture is more important than having 3 better slots in the draft. And I think when we think of the Eagles, we don't even think of a bad organization or a loser organization. They won a Super Bowl, 4 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
They're competitive every year. Maybe they don't have the greatest record, but they're competitive. I don't think of a bad organization. And then when you see something like this, it's like, oh wow, nobody's gonna want to go there. Like, I feel like the Eagles could have been a destination for a lot of people.
You're gonna have to really.
Why the hell would I want to go to this franchise?
Right, you're gonna have to really have to change. You're gonna have to do a culture change with the same coach and the same locker room, and this. You're gonna have to hope they forget about this.
Honestly,
that's really what you're gonna have to do going next season. Say, hey, this year's gonna be completely different. We brought in so and so. We think he's really gonna help us. I hope y'all understand that. Da, da, da. But once it starts going south again, even if they buy in, I don't see a lot of people staying on that ship with him.
mm-hmm.
And like, the Eagles aren't an organization that like I expect to fire a coach mid-season. But if they suck again, like Dougie and Howie Roseman, their heads are gonna roll. The heads are gonna roll very quickly, because you know what? I was even talking to some people about this. They're gonna have to double dip at receiver anyway. We assume, right? Like, what else are they gonna draft? If they draft another quarterback ahead of Jalen Hurts to compete, do they draft? Like, do they draft a lineman when they had 4 out because of injuries in reality?
Yeah. It would seem like another weapon would be where they go.
So they'd probably double dip at receiver after taking Rager last year. And then who do you assume is going to be there at 6? Like, I'm assuming you're going to have your option between Jamar Chase, Devonta Smith, Jalen Waddle. And if you want to go tight end and let Zach Ertz walk, you could take Kyle Pitts, who I think would be great for them. But odds are one of those 4 guys are going to be there at 9 anyway. So, I mean,
it's just a bad all around bad decision leading to bad organization, which is going to lead to a bad culture.
Right. And it's really disappointing. And you know what? I'm not going to we both hate the little integrity of football, integrity of this, integrity of sport talk.
Yeah.
But that really is that the issue isn't the integrity of sport. It's more an organization willing to basically give the backhand to their players that worked hard that whole season.
Yeah.
And mail it in, and like you said, give a losing culture for at least one game. And that's, I don't know, that at least lying to your players like that, I'm not a big fan of that. So
yeah, it's crazy.
It is what it is, but we're going into playoff time. As we've already mentioned, I'm pretty sure you have the lineups. You have the week. We're going to do our little weekly picks.
There you go. We're going to do our weekly stuff, how we do. I'm excited. Zeke, I'm excited. My Colts scared me against the Jags. Scared me. It was the third quarter. And I'm like, okay, what the hell's going on? Phillip looked horrible. But Jonathan Taylor, I mean.
Third leading rusher this year. Congrats to him as a rookie. Should get consideration for a lot.
That kid is ridiculous. And we barely gave him the ball the first 7 weeks. Now we started giving him the ball. He's averaging 90 yards a game. The kid's the real deal. I'm really excited for the Colts. They play on Saturday. We'll start with my Indianapolis Colts. They go to Buffalo, take on the Bills. Bills are -6.5, which I'm gonna tell you how I feel about this game. Obviously, I want to be a homer and be like, Colts, Colts, Colts. We're gonna run into Buffalo, but that's just not good. After what I saw against Jacksonville, I'm a little hesitant because there's a point in the game where, first of all, it was like 17-0 or 21-0 us, and I'm like, here we go. This looks phenomenal. This is our football. We're handing the ball off, a little play action, easy throws for Phillip. Then we get in this lull, which tends to happen. It happened against our collapse against Pittsburgh, where we have 6 possessions in a row where we don't get points. 6 straight. We could beat Jacksonville doing that. If we give Josh Allen 6 possessions without scoring, we're going to lose by 20. So I'm not going to say like I did, a couple weeks, Colts going to the Super Bowl, Colts this, Colts that. I'm a little hesitant because I've seen quarterbacks who are accurate and can make plays out of the pocket hurt us. And Josh Allen is all that and then some right now, looking like he's not going to win MVP, but maybe second in the race now over Mahomes with the way he's been playing. I think the keys for Indy is obviously hand that ball off to Jonathan Taylor, feed him the rock at all costs. Buffalo, I believe, is 26th against the run. So that's where we got to live. Even in the beginning, if it's getting stopped, keep handing it off. Keep pushing on them. We got Quentin Nelson. We got big old linemen. Just keep pushing on them. Run the rock. We can't trust Phillip, especially in Buffalo, where it's going to be cold and that it's going to be tough to make throws. We can't rely on Phillip to make some plays because that arm looks dead right now. And this is what we've seen in the past. Throughout the regular season, he puts up numbers. Come playoff time, this guy's arm is dead and he can't make any throws anymore. So we got to lean on the run game, and something that I think is, if we don't cause a turnover, such as maybe 2 interceptions, a pick and a fumble, I don't think we can beat them. So I think, we need to get that pass rush, Justin Houston, Darius Leonard, Buckner, get on Allen, make him make a quick early decision, which sometimes he struggles with making real quick ones. Like he's not just going to throw the check down. He might force it. And that's where we can maybe get a pick or two, a sack fumble or something. And that's where we can take advantage and score points. And I think we have a chance to beat Buffalo, but I'm not going to go on this whole rant that we're going to storm into Buffalo and win because I'm very nervous for this game. But I would take the 6.5 points with the Colts.
I'm just going to take Buffalo. I think the main issue is Buffalo's not like Tennessee where they have a bad defense. They're a very sound, all-together football team at home, having fans for the first time this season. The Bills Mafia is going to be out.
Yep.
I think that's going to really, really give them an added bonus. It's going to be freezing. No disrespect to Phillip Rivers, but he played on the West Coast his whole career. So I don't know how he's going to perform in that kind of environment, even if you are handing it off most of the time. So I just expect Buffalo to handle y'all. I expect it to be like between 10 and 14. Y'all going to have some fight. You're going to have some fight. Your defense is going to show up. Maybe you'll get a pick. But I think you don't have the corners to keep up with Stephon Diggs at all. And maybe you try to make them run the ball, but if you try to do that, are you really just going to make Josh Allen run the ball? And that could be a problem. Yeah. So I have confidence in the Bills.
As I'm watching the Colts game, I'm going, even though if I'm any other team, I would not want to play the Ravens right now because they're red hot. But I'm like, I like us playing the Ravens much more than I like us playing Buffalo. And I know the Ravens have been on fire, but at least I can just commit to stopping the run. And if Lamar beats us with an arm, he beats us with his arm. I can live with that. Allen will dice us up with his arm. So, a Houston game where they blew it against Tennessee, I'm like, fuck, man. We played Baltimore, like I probably said 6 weeks ago or something like that. And it was a decent game. We lost the second half, but the first half we were beating them up pretty well. So Buffalo's not the greatest matchup for the Colts. And I remember saying that, I believe, because when we play quarterbacks that can really fit the ball in any space, we struggle. Because we play a lot of man sometimes on the outside. And our corners we got Rocky Sean. He's a young guy. Guys like Kenny Moore, who are good, but maybe they're not completely shut down corners.
Not for Diggs. So it's just not for Diggs.
Yeah, not for Diggs either. I'm nervous, but I think there's a way we can win the game. So I'm going to be optimistic, but I'm definitely nervous. But I would say this: if there's something, I was talking to my brother about this. This is Josh Allen's first big playoff game, right? Has he had another
Do you
big
not
playoff
count
game?
the Houston one last year, where Deshaun Watson broke the sack? Because they low key would have won that one, but
Yeah,
for
but
Deshaun
he's
Watson's
at
magic.
home. This one's a little more important, right? They're at home. They were 13-3. Should have been 14-2. Like, this is Buffalo, Bills Mafia. Like, this is
Mhm.
the one. Like, they obviously got to beat the Colts here. So there's going to be maybe a little bit of pressure on the Bills. So maybe Allen struggles in his first real playoff game where he's expected to do something. I'm leaning on that. I don't know if it'll happen, but that's what I'm gonna lean on.
That's there's hope for everybody. We'll just say
Yeah,
that. There's
that's
hope for
cold.
everybody.
That's cool. Hey, if Jonathan Taylor runs for another 250, we're
If
gonna win the
Phillip
game.
throws for 400 and Darius has 3 sacks and Buckner holds them to 8 yards rushing on the game.
You know what? We'll see on Sunday. All right.
What's the next game, man? What's the
Moving
next game you
on.
got?
This game's interesting. Rams, they take on the Seahawks. Seahawks are -3.5. I'm taking the Seahawks. Now, is Golf playing or do we
I
not
don't
know
think
yet?
he is. I don't think he is.
What I've heard, he's not playing. But what's interesting is the line started at 4.5 and now went to 3.5 today. So maybe somebody knows something that Golf may be playing, or maybe just all the money is on the Rams. So I don't know, but I mean, that one kid didn't look horrible last week. What's his name? Wofford or something like that?
Wofford, yeah.
Yeah. He didn't look horrible, I guess. I mean, I'm definitely taking the Seahawks into points on this. Uh, Rams without Golf. I think with Golf, it doesn't even really matter. I know me and you both don't think highly of Golf anyway. But I will say that the Seahawks beat every team, it seems, at the end, like by 3 points, or just scoring that touchdown at the end, like
Right.
last week against the Niners. It's like, when have we seen the Seahawks blow anybody out that wasn't the Jets that one week when it was like 40-3 or whatever?
Yeah.
They never are blowing anybody out. So I don't think the Seahawks are actually for real. I just think this is a good matchup for them in the first round, and they'll beat the Seahawks, but they'll lose next week.
This is a game where I could see the Seahawks losing, but not to Wofford. Like if he's playing, I don't see any way that they don't come out with this game because the defense is struggling, and they said Jamal Adams might not play either. But like, how
The
bad is
Rams'
your defense
defensive
going?
line is hurt too, I believe, right?
It's a weird game. Like I'm not to like kind of throw this game to the side, but I don't think whoever comes out of this game is making any noise in the next round. I think they're getting.
Agree.
So like to me, like I wouldn't be shocked if the Rams. If Jared Goff played and the Rams shocked them, I wouldn't be surprised. But I agree with you. I expect the Seattle to just come out on top and handle Wofford.
Yeah, and Wofford.
Handle Mr. Wofford home. If we're saying his name right.
Yeah, that's definitely probably the least exciting game. Next, Tampa Bay goes to Washington, which is ridiculous. But Tampa's -8. I'm taking Tampa by 2 touchdowns. I know everyone's saying that defensive line, this could be a bad matchup for Brady. He's immobile. Chase Young sweat. Like, all right, chill out. Y'all could have just lost to the Eagles. Like, your offense sucks. You're not going to be able to score on Tampa that much. Their defense, we saw, was really good, and then we're bad. Now they're decent again. The Washington's not going to be able to put up enough points, I don't think, to hang. Like, they might be able to stop Tampa Bay the first quarter, get after Brady. But when that second, third quarter comes around, the Bucs are going to put up some points. And Washington is not going to be able to, especially with Alex Smith having an injury. When today I saw Ron Rivera said, we might go 2 quarterbacks. We might switch back and forth between Smith and Heineke or whatever his name is. I'm like, if you're doing that, this is a 20-plus blowout. So I'll take the Bucs -8. The question I had for you is, which is just a question for the game, is does the Washington D-line get to Brady and cause trouble for the Bucs?
I just think Tampa's going to get too many possessions. Like the amount of possessions the Eagles got in that game kind of showed you what Washington is. Because the offense isn't going to – if you can't move the ball against Philly, like no disrespect, but like you're not going to be able to move it against Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
And even if Tampa is struggling, how much are they going to struggle? You really only have to worry about Terry McLaurin and like I guess kind of shadow the back a little bit.
That's it. Gibson's
Yeah,
not back, right? Like they don't got rid
yeah.
of
So
anybody.
like, I don't really like. I understand you have a solid O line, but Alex Smith is literally playing on one leg yet again.
Yeah,
And the only wild card of the game is historically Tom Brady doesn't really do good against the NFC East in the playoffs.
and they're playing at night, and Tom Brady has sucked at night during this season.
That's
That's what they're saying.
like it's a stretch, but like we
Yeah,
said before, everyone has hope in the playoffs. But
yeah,
I'm with you. I think Tampa's going to win by I say 35-17.
yeah. I could see something like that. And I've picked Tampa to be the Super Bowl champs. That was my predictions. And my brother is very mad. Biggest Packers fan you can. I'm like, Dave, how you feeling this week? You get to chill out, just watch the football, not worry about anything. He's like, I'm gonna tell you, I'm pissed. I'm like, you're pissed. Why? He goes, because guess what happens? Tampa beats Washington. We play Tampa, and I'm like, that's the one matchup I think Green Bay doesn't want to see. They played once. Tampa smacked them by 30, and now Green Bay obviously much better now. Tampa's good now though. That's the one. Like I feel like this Packers whop the Saints, whop the
Hmm.
Seahawks, whop anybody. But seeing TB12 and that one team that really shut you guys down that one week might not be the team you want to see. And that if I believe if the Rams if
If
the
the
Rams don't
Rams
beat
or
the
the
Seahawks,
Bears, if the Bears win
yeah, yeah,
too.
right. But we don't expect. I don't think either of us expect either of those to happen. So if neither of those happen, they wind up with the Bucks, and you're seeing Brady versus Rodgers in the divisional round. That's tough for the Packers as the one seed.
Yeah, I mean, I get it's a tough matchup, but it's hard in this league to beat people 2 to 3 times,
It's true.
and it's going to be in Lambeau, and the whole NFC has to go through Lambeau. I think that can cause some trouble. I mean, Brady will be in his element in the
Right.
cold,
His
but
New England days.
I don't know. Maybe they'll pull that game plan out again. Maybe Matt LaFleur will have something up the sleeve, but I don't even expect him to play Tampa.
All right, then we'll get to that, I guess. Huh? All
I
right.
don't I don't expect him to play Tampa.
All right. The next game I got written down here, back to the AFC, which this is the most competitive game. Ravens at Titans. Ravens are -3. I'm gonna take the Ravens. I think they win this game. I think they get revenge for last year. Titans offense is gonna put up some points. The Ravens are gonna put up points. Ravens defense will be able to get some stops, and we've seen Tennessee's defense is shit. We
Mhm.
saw Houston light them up last week. They're not playing well right now, especially, and the Ravens offense is on fire right now. And Lamar's making throws. We got on him earlier in the year saying he's struggling throwing the ball. It seems like these last couple of weeks he's gotten back to what he was last year throwing the ball, which still isn't right. Still not a marksman
Mhm.
throwing the ball, but enough where it's like, all right, we got to play this honest. We can't just all commit to the run. And Hollywood Brown played well. Yeah, 3 touchdowns. I know they played the Bengals, but like, still, these guys are playing well heading into the playoffs. I'm taking the Ravens. My question was you and who you're picking, but does Lamar get his first playoff win? He's 0-2. He said that narrative that he's not a playoff winner. He's trying to break that.
This is a hard one because spread wise, I want to take the Titans.
I
And
agree,
because
but at the last second I switched.
I'm
It's like
gonna take the
whoever's getting. It's
Titans.
like whoever's getting points. I'm just gonna take.
Right. That's exactly
Yeah.
how I feel. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take Titans. And it's hard to win that many games in a row. You won 5 in a row, and I think like yesterday, I remember I was telling JJ who we had on here before. I was telling him, I was like, bro, I think the Ravens got y'all this year. I don't know if y'all just have their number, time to really find out. But then I woke up this morning, I'm like, you know what? Everyone is saying this,
Mm-hmm.
and they still have the blueprint. And they're the underdog as a division leader at home. First time they've won their division in God knows how long. They really might. I think they really might take it. I think Tennessee might take it home. So I'm just going to go Tennessee. And I won't be surprised if Baltimore wins, but I'm going Tennessee all the way.
All right, for the next game, maybe this is where you're going with your upset because you say you don't expect Tampa, but Bears at Saints. The spread is huge at -10. That's a lot. I'm taking the Bears with the spread, but I'm going to take the Saints to win the game. They've been playing good football. I don't trust Breeze right now. I don't think his arm is really good, but Mitch Trubisky in the playoffs, I can't trust it. I can't take the Bears. My question to you, will Breeze struggle enough with that good Bears defense? That Bears defense is good. They got lit up by Rodgers, but they're good. But also, will Breeze struggle enough? But will Mitch be able to make enough plays for the Bears to stay in it and possibly make a huge upset against the Saints?
I think the Bears are going to win this game. And
God
it's only because I've been preaching it for weeks. The Saints in the playoffs. Now they're going in hobbling with guys not playing well. Breeze talking retirement against one of the most talented defenses in the NFL. Yeah.
Also, the running backs, I believe, for the Saints get off of COVID Saturday, and they play Sunday.
Yeah, that'll be great too.
I'm not sure if they're even getting practices in.
I don't expect them to win this game. It's going to be typical Saints. And it's going to be a low-scoring game because I don't expect Trubisky to really have a day.
Right.
But, I'm expecting, I'm definitely taking plus 10. 100%.
Definitely plus 10, yeah.
Definitely taking plus 10. But I expect it to be if the Saints win, it's going to be 28-24. The Bears win, it's going to be 27-21.
Right.
Not a high.
That's where I think the Saints will win. No, the Saints win by 4-6. That area is what I expect to happen. But it's definitely one that if I'm the Saints, I'm not necessarily happy that we're playing the Bears. I would much rather play maybe the Cardinals or a team like that, where a team that doesn't have a good defense. Breeze doesn't have to worry that much. The Bears are going to come in and they don't got to worry about the weather. They're in a dome. They're coming in to play.
I'm not gonna lie. I just don't think the Saints want to buy. They should have wanted the buy.
Yeah.
And obviously they didn't get it. And I'm not saying they didn't want it because they didn't do some Peterson shit. But at the end of the day, the Saints are always liable in any round.
That's a fact. So the more you're saying it, I like it. I'm still taking the Saints, but the more you're saying, I am liking it.
I think there's only going to be one upset on each side, basically. I think the Bears are going to catch the Saints, and I think I'm picking the Titans to win, but
that's like a pick-em game.
That's a pick-em game where I could see technically the Titans are the underdog, I guess, because they're not favored.
Technically, yeah.
But I wouldn't be shocked whoever comes out of that game.
Right. Wow, man. So then the Packers would get the Bears in the divisional round.
Yes,
I think the Pack would love to see that again.
The Pack would love to see the Bears again.
Rodgers has not struggled at all against Chicago this year.
Not any year.
Normally they say, you don't want to see your divisional rival in the playoffs, but I think that's an exception with the Packers and the Bears.
Yeah, Bears coming to Lambeau.
Yeah. Yeah.
See ya,
that might not work out. The last game, the Brownies. They finally get in, Zeke. Led by Baker Mayfield in the run game. They get in at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's -6. I'm going to take the Steelers. I think they win by 7. So I'm going to take them. Mm-hmm. But I got how bad do we feel for the Browns?
I feel really bad. I do feel really bad,
Stefanski's out. 2 players, 2 coaches. They finally make the playoffs. And COVID-19's got to strike in Cleveland. It's got to be all over Cleveland and ruining the Brownies' first playoffs in forever.
Yeah.
But here's a caveat, Zeke. If Baker Mayfield goes into Pittsburgh with COVID, divisional rival, first playoff game, and beats the Steelers, he might be a Cleveland legend. Already, he might be a Cleveland legend.
I think
there might be LeBron and Baker Mayfield.
Get out of here.
In Cleveland, they will lose their minds.
Get out of here putting them next to Braun. That's not happening.
Braun, Jim Brown, right? Who else?
Jim Brown, maybe Tim Couch above Baker still. Baker. Anybody that played for the Cleveland Indians, maybe.
Come on. Baker will be all over the city, and that city will lose its mind.
Mo Williams is still ahead of Baker. Sorry.
Don't do that. Don't do that. We're gonna say Drew Gooden.
Man.
Drew
Gooden.
Gooden.
Drew Gooden might be like on his ass.
You know who's definitely will be ahead? Drew Ilgauskas. Come on.
The
Drew
Ilgauskas. That's a Cleveland legend too. Colin Sexton up there right now.
Okay. Anyway.
Oh
does
my God.
Cleveland have a chance to win this game? What do you think?
I don't expect them to. I'm picking the Steelers because, like you said, I feel really bad for them. I think Stefanski not being physically there is going to be hard for the team. We went through this. Obviously, we've had our assistant coach a game, and no disrespect, but we did not play
it's
our
just different. It's different.
It's different. Like, we still won the game, but we were playing a very, like, lowly opponent. So like it was fine where we could have our assistant coach doing it, but we still didn't play up to snuff. With this other situation, you're in the playoffs going against a team that's technically better than you, and you only beat them by 2 with their backup quarterback. So I'm expecting.
And Mason Rudolph is bad.
Yeah, basically
bad.
I'll be the first to admit that. I used to say, I remember when he was in that draft, I was saying that he was going to be one of the guys in the draft that people weren't expecting that was going to be good. And boy, did he let me down. He's Brandon Whedon bad.
Yeah, he is that class, honestly.
But anyway, I just think that the Steelers are going to get it done. I think the Browns are going to give them a game. Like, part of me wants to take the points, but
game.
Yeah.
If Cleveland can run the ball, they're going to stay in the game. They might have a shot at the end. If Pittsburgh stops Chubb and Kareem, it's going to be too much on Baker. And Baker's been playing well, and I like Baker. I'm happy he's got success in Cleveland, but he's still not going to carry a team. He's not that guy, at least not yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I expect Pittsburgh to – and Pittsburgh's kind of bounced back since that couple losses in a row.
Definitely have been playing a lot better football.
Yeah, so –
starting with y'all.
I know, with our collapse.
If there's anybody really on upset watch in the AFC for me, it's technically the Titans. And if not the Titans, I think y'all have a better chance.
Yeah.
I think y'all have a better chance of beating the Bills.
Yeah. Keep talking.
In the NFC, I guess the Rams can sneak the Seahawks. I wouldn't really buy that. I expect the Bears to probably sneak the Saints. And I think Tampa should beat the two locks should be Tampa over Washington and Pittsburgh over Cleveland for me.
I agree.
If neither of those teams if one of those teams fold, there's a lot of discussions. There's a lot to talk about because you lost to an inferior team.
Absolutely. No doubt about it. It's going to be exciting. I think it's 3 games Saturday and 3 games Sunday or something like that?
Yeah. 3 on Saturday, 3 on Sunday. So. And that Bears game is going to be on Nickelodeon for all y'all.
For all the kids out there.
For all the kids out there, make sure you watch Mitch Trubisky throw interceptions on Nickelodeon or Amazon Prime.
Bro, that's kind of embarrassing. Isn't that kind of embarrassing?
And it's gonna be the upset. You gotta watch Nick at night.
I was watching SpongeBob. And at 4:00, though.
I was watching SpongeBob, and I was really pissed off because then Drew Brees was on my TV. And he told me he was retiring or something.
And I got a thing for the NFL. This is something, I don't know how you feel about this, but can we stop putting games on just random-ass networks and random-ass sites? Like, it'll be a Thursday night game. There's no other football. We're like, let's put it on Amazon Prime so nobody can watch it unless you got Amazon. It's like,
wow.
I'm in Florida, and I forget what day it was. It wasn't Sunday, and it's like, the Cardinals are playing this team. I'm like, you guys got Amazon Prime, and thank God they did, or else I wouldn't be watching it. I'm like, why isn't this just on ABC or NBC? Like, I don't understand.
Not the primetime games. Don't do it for the primetime games. Do it for the local games. Like, hey, like if you want to watch the Cowboys get their teeth kicked in, like. Head over to Amazon Prime or Nickelodeon and really watch Zeke get slaughtered.
You're watching some iCarly. Now you got Drew Brees versus Mitchell Trubisky. That's insane.
Damn.
Oh, God.
I love this channel.
They got everything over here.
Really got everything. Like they got football, show. Oh my god, SpongeBob, this is great.
Oh, it's hilarious. Oh
God.
my god.
But
I didn't
shit,
know
man.
that. I did not know that.
Yeah, no, they put a playoff game on Nickelodeon.
Oh, that's so funny.
That's really like that's
Oh,
lowest of the low. That's really how you feel about Chicago. If better question, if the Cardinals made the playoffs, was that gonna go on Nickelodeon?
I don't.
They
I
would have
don't.
probably put Washington and Tampa.
You know how many memes would be on Nickelodeon if Kyler Murray was playing? I can see it now. How many like small people from Nickelodeon they would put in Kyler Murray's like.
They always do him dirty. With the one with him supposedly stretching.
Yeah, that's a little ass kid.
They got the little Giants one. They
Oh,
did Kyler Murray. They did your boy bad, man. But no one did him worse than himself this season. Folded.
let's not get into it. All right.
I mean, it's hard
Let's
when
not get into it.
you're not a top 10 guy.
Anyway, what else we have? Oh, coaching vacancies. That's our last football.
Yes, we have 6 head coaching vacancies in the NFL. Number 1, the most luxurious job, the Los Angeles Chargers fired Anthony Lynn. Number 2, the Jacksonville Jaguars, only number 1 pick, fired Doug Marrone. Funny story.
That's a good spot for a coach, though.
That is. And the funny thing about that was when they gave the it's kind of a spoiler, but when they gave the Urban Meyer rumors to Doug Marrone, and he said, yeah, I called the owner, and he said he had no idea.
News to me.
He said news to me. And then he got fired the next day. Like,
I was crying.
Like, get the fuck out of here.
Oh,
Anyway, number 3, it's between 2 teams for me. But number 3, I would actually say the Atlanta Falcons. I know they don't have much cap space, but I think there's a team over there that is literally just a coach away. So
I'm going to say this real quick. I think there is a team there because we've seen them have games where like this team's really good. Offense is flowing, defense is flying around. I don't know if it's that luxurious though because of the cap space, as you said, and Matt Ryan's contract. Matt Ryan can still play good football.
I feel like he's worth that, though.
No, I'm not saying he's washed, but going forward, it's a tough contract to go with.
All right. I mean, I can get around that because the next one is my New York Jets. We fired Adam Gase. I threw a party. I drank a lot. I was so happy. Just solo party, though. Like, looked at myself in the mirror with my Jets jersey on.
COVID party. That's all it was.
Not even like that. Like, I looked at myself in the mirror with a Jets jersey on, and I was like, you believe this? Like, it's great.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But then you have Detroit Lions and the worst job, in my opinion, the Houston Texans by far.
Yeah.
I would not want to take that job.
Bill O'Brien threw a bomb in the middle of that organization and just blew it up.
That's what happens when you make head coaches GMs. It never really works.
Yep. Never really works. I would say this. I think definitely the Chargers is a job that any coach would want. First of all, Los Angeles. You're living in LA. Fantastic weather.
Cap space.
Looks like one of the best young QBs we've seen in a while. Herbert, like, I didn't think he'd be this good. He looks damn good.
Right. Talent everywhere, too.
Bosa's, Derwin James, Austin Eckler. Like, it almost seems like they get a good coach and a good scheme. All of a sudden, they might win 10 games. Like, that's really what it seems like it could be for the Chargers.
I agree 100%.
Now, I'm not sure who they've been interviewing. I know they interviewed somebody that I was like, I don't like that. Who was that?
I don't know who you didn't like. I like someone that's off the board, actually.
Wait, was it Garrett? Did they interview Jason Garrett? Is that them?
They did interview Jason Garrett. Yes, I think.
I was like, remember you sent me a DM and I said, well, the Chargers are just trying to fuck it up again.
I did send that.
Jason. I mean, I don't got anything wrong with Jason Garrett, but I think there's better options. Like, come on.
Wrong with Jason Garrett. Not
yet.
That's 30.
I don't know.
He was the offensive coordinator of the 31st offense, and he gets a head coaching opportunity. Someone should look at Adam Gase then while they're at it. Like,
that's true. It's true.
But
it's very, very, very silly.
I have someone for the Chargers. I think it is a perfect fit. They've interviewed the man.
Okay.
Buffalo Bills offensive coordinator Brian Dable just did what he did with Josh Allen. And coming out of college, we said Justin Herbert looks a lot like Josh Allen. Maybe a little better now that we've seen it, because Josh Allen was not like this his rookie year.
Not at all.
Hey, Brian, you want Josh 2.0? Really make something nice over here, because Keenan Allen could do some Stephon Diggs things, and you just bring that playbook over.
I like what you're saying. It makes a lot of sense for the Chargers to go that way, especially offensive minded when you have Herbert and all these weapons. I don't know if they've interviewed him, but Bieniemy, or however the hell you say his name.
He's been interviewed by everybody. That's already
I feel like
everybody has interviewed him.
He's a good fit, it would seem like, right? But he doesn't call the plays in Kansas City, which would worry me a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Reed handles all that, so it's like calling plays and just being there and drawing them up is much different. Like, you have to have a feel for the game and the flow of the game. But I think he's still a good option for them. But Jason Garrett, get that out of him. What?
Yeah, that's got to stop.
Like stop. You already don't have any fans. Like, LA Chargers have no fans. Like, that's known. Like, nobody's a fan of the Chargers. Because now they're in a town with the Rams. Like, no one likes you guys.
And they basically battle with the Raiders, too, technically. I know the Raiders are in Vegas, but they did used to be in LA, too.
And I know the Niners are close by. Like, they're around the area.
And they've all seen success except the Chargers.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, let's not do the Jason Garrett thing where we have fans being like, here we go. We're just trying to fuck it up.
Right. Number 2, though, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey, we've seen Urban Meyer talk.
Do you buy it?
I'm just saying this. I'm shocked. Shocked he was brought up. I thought he was done. Listen, when you have health problems, it's like, this stress caused me to have health problems being a coach. Being a coach is a stressful job. It's an amazing job. It's a stressful job. Now you're going to go from college where you have all the say. You run everything. Obviously, Urban Meyer ran Florida, ran Ohio State. Now you're going up to the pros. Very stressful job with guys who want to do their own thing. They're grown men. Mm-hmm. Other coaches who are, positioning themselves to be a head coach one day. Mm-hmm. I don't love I think Urban Meyer's a great coach. I'm not saying he's not a great coach. Obviously, he's a great coach. Mm-hmm. But I'm not sure that's just a good idea in general. His health, it's different than college. How many times have we seen college coaches fail over and over again?
Plenty
of
time.
I think we've seen the greatest college coach of all time, Nick Saban, fail in the NFL. I'm leaning towards the thing, and I think Urban Meyer's great. I'm leaning towards the thing that he would fail in the NFL, then be good.
I agree.
That's how I feel.
I actually agree. Like, I don't think I don't think anyone should hire Urban Meyer. I don't think that'd be a good idea. And I think it's mainly because, hey, he also left Florida and Ohio State with a lot of scandal when he left.
Yes.
I don't really know if he really, while he wins, no doubt. Dude wins games.
Like, he's obviously a good coach, but
he never leaves the organization really in the best situation after he's gone.
And now he's just older and has health problems. So it's like, I don't understand what we're doing.
But I still think Jacksonville's going to hire him.
I think they're going to.
I wouldn't recommend it.
I wouldn't recommend it, but there's been so much like gas with it. Like it feels like that's going to happen. They also said if they didn't get Urban, they want current Ohio State head coach Ryan Day. So that was a little ballsy. It's only his second year as head coach.
I don't think he's going to leave.
No, exactly. He's not going to leave. I thought that was just like, damn, they really got ties to Ohio State. But this is what we talked about, Seek. Jacksonville, for some reason, wants all these Ohio State guys. So what's the coincidence here? We want Ohio State head coach, and we want the guy who replaced him. And then there's that guy in the draft who seems like he's going to be
that's a quarterback from Ohio State. Maybe
it seems like he's going to be the first or the second pick, right? We think
maybe
the second,
we go sign Dwayne Haskins too.
We think the second Cordell Jones. Where you at? We think he's the second, but all of a sudden we want all this Ohio State stuff. It's got to make you think that they're thinking about Justin Fields.
If he wins the national championship, oh boy, watch ESPN for the next few weeks. Watch ESPN until that draft, because they are gonna make it. They are gonna make this a show, and you know what? It's gonna be a show I'm gonna enjoy watching because I'm at least gonna have a little hope that they don't pick Trevor Lawrence, and then I can come on here and laugh at every single person that told me
that would be perfect for you.
That every single person that told me, "Oh, you need to lose out.
You're
stupid.
You lost
Trevor Lawrence. You're stupid. You have no idea." And then I get the number 2 pick. I go 2-14. I fire my head coach, and I get him anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh,
That's
I
true.
I would be so happy. But
And by the way, just real quick, I think that Ohio State does beat Alabama. I think they win the national championship.
I
I
don't want
think
to go
I
that
think they
far
do.
yet. I'm just
I
gonna
think they do.
we don't talk much college football here, so I'm just
No,
gonna
but
remove myself from that conversation and say, you know what? I
okay.
hope I see a great game, and I hope Justin Fields goes off and wins the Natty. He had a hell of a game, but beating Bama is a tall task. Anyway,
Tall task.
anyway. If they don't get Urban Meyer, I expect Eric Bieniemy, but my money's on Urban Meyer.
Yeah, agreed.
So you have the Jets ahead of the Falcons, so let's just go there right now.
Yeah,
Obviously, I want Bieniemy. I
yeah.
think we'll get Bieniemy, and if we don't, watch Iowa State head coach Matt Campbell. He's been
Campbell, yeah.
interviewed, and I like the guy, very Matt Rule-ish, but
Mm-hmm.
you know, we're interviewing a lot of people. Dable's been there. We tried to interview the Giants defensive coordinator, but he signed an extension, which made me very happy because I don't really know why we would give
That's
him a
fine.
head
Yeah,
coaching
that's
job
fine.
right
Yeah,
away.
yeah, that's fine.
But yeah, no, I think we're gonna be between Bieniemy and Matt Campbell and one of these other. Oh, or maybe your lovely defensive coordinator Eberflus or whatever, however the hell you say his name.
I was hoping you didn't bring him up.
Or
Matt
JJ's
Eberflus.
offensive
Yep.
coordinator and Artie Smith.
Artie Smith. Yeah, I
There's
was hoping
options.
you didn't bring Eberflus up because he's the talk of a lot of people want to interview him, and he's done a great job. I mean, if you remember a couple of years ago, our defense was one of the worst in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Just a couple of years ago, we were horrible. Then we drafted Darius Leonard, and I'm not sure when Eberflus took over, but the last couple of years it's just been like this, going up. And Eberflus seems to be a great coach and a great defensive coach. Like even if you look at the Colts defense right now, it's not like oh, there's a star, there's a star, there's a star. It's like Darius Leonard's a star. Malik
Buckner's the
Hooker gets
star.
Buckner's a star. Malik Hooker gets hurt every year. Our corners are decent. They're not. It's like this isn't a
Yeah,
stacked defense, right? They have
not
some players,
really.
but not stacked.
Your
So
pass
Eberflus, I
rushers are
think,
old, low key.
yeah, Justin Houston, like he's so Eberflus seems to be a great coach. I hope he stays with the Colts selfishly because I like the guy. If he gets head coaching job, that's amazing for him. He's getting paid,
Mm-hmm.
and he probably deserves to be head coach. But let's just keep him in Indy because I like what we're doing.
I'd like him in Jacksonville too. I don't expect him to go there,
He
but I
can't go
would
to it. Can't
if
go
he
to
goes in division.
We can't do that. Then he knows all that. No, I can't do that.
But yeah, no, I think they said that the rumor is that the Jets are looking for a all-around football coach. They're not sticking to a guy that is just offensive minded or just defensive minded. They're looking at more of a guy that's been around all of them. So we're not looking at any special teams guys, but that's kind of why I have Matt Campbell at the top of the expected list. Yes. Do I want Bieniemy? Yes. I love Eric Bieniemy. I think that'd be perfect. And then you bring Anthony Lynn to come be our defensive coordinator, and I'd be so happy. But we'll see
Hey,
how it goes.
do you think Joe Douglas, right? That's your GM, right?
Mhm.
That's his name.
Yeah. Joey D.
Obviously we don't. You obviously don't know what he thinks of Darnold and the whole situation. We don't know the inside.
Yeah, he
Do you
didn't commit.
do you think he asked like, say he wants to keep Darnold and a coach comes in that's a great coach and the coach is like, no, I want to get rid of Darnold. He's automatically like, we don't want you. We want somebody else. Like,
Well,
do you think he's like that?
Well, he already said that because he said the next head coach is going to have a lot to say of what they do with Sam Darnold. Because he said
Oh, okay.
everything he said was he thinks Sam Darnold can be a very good quarterback in this league.
Yeah.
But he never said he feels that he can be a very good quarterback for the New York Jets.
Well, I'll tell you what you just said makes me think even better of Joe Douglas because like some GMs or owners would be like, no, we want this to happen. The fact that he's letting the head coach decide, that's good.
My man, Joey Bag of Donuts Douglas over here. All right. My man, he is a poker player. He plays his cards tight. A lot of people don't know what's going on, but he comes from player personnel. So that's my favorite thing with him. He knows players. He knows talent. People laughed when we drafted Mekhi Becton. No one's laughing now.
Phenomenal. He's phenomenal.
People like the Mims pick. He's been hurt, but he played good.
He's a talent.
Bryce Hall in the 6th, very good. Like our punter was arguably a Pro Bowler. Like he had a very good draft last year, and all the contracts he signed, a lot of guys were on 1 years, so we still have cap space and we still have stuff we could do. And he pulled the trigger with Adam Gase, which made me very happy because part of me was like, "Oh, you got me the job. Stay one more." Like,
Yeah.
so I'm happy he didn't do that, but we'll see. They said he's gonna be in. They said this is Joe. Ownership came out and said this is Joe Douglas's decision. Our faith is in Joe. So if he
All right.
fucks this up, I know who to
Yeah.
blame. But I like that. I like that. I like that. I know
Yeah.
this time. It's not a committee.
Agreed.
Next, we have Atlanta. I think they really might bring Raheem Morris back.
I liked what he did as an interim job.
He did a good job.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked.
I wouldn't be shocked. Listen, I don't know if Raheem Morris is more. What was he?
That's his
before the
name,
head
right?
coach?
Raheem Morris.
Yeah. What was he before head coach? Was he defense coordinator, offense coordinator?
I'm not sure. I hope he wasn't the defensive coordinator because their defense stunk.
Hey, that's what I was about to say. Do they bring it? They brought in Mike Dan Quinn because they're like, we need a defensive guy here in Atlanta. Offense, we're fine, and that obviously didn't pan out. So do they go offensive? Do they go? It's interesting to see what they do.
I'm looking right now. Raheem Morris served as interim head football coach. He was the head coach of the Bucks in 2009 to 2011.
I do not remember that.
He's been an assistant in Atlanta since 2015. Defensive backs. He's all around. He's done defensive backs, wide receivers, secondary. D. He was the D coordinator this year. So that does give you a little. A little.
But also, they're not super talented on the defensive side. So
they're not. But I don't want to make an excuse for them and be like, yeah, no, it's cool to just give up 40 points all the time.
Right. That's fine.
But I think they might keep him just because of how they finished the season. Obviously didn't finish that great, but I don't really see another guy that fits there. Maybe Matty Eberflus, maybe Artie Smith to come over and take over that offense with a lot of weapons. Those are two big names out there, so I expect those guys to be sought after.
I agree.
Then we have Detroit. Detroit's a lock for me. Robert Saleh.
It seems like that's
it's a lock. There's no way he's not there. If he's not there, I don't.
Saleh seems like a cool dude too. He gets all jacked up on the side.
He's great. He screams Detroit from me. He's from Detroit. Great D coordinator. Should have been up for jobs last year. Like he really deserves that opportunity. And then whatever they do with the offense, they do with the offense.
Agreed.
And the lowly Houston Texans. Oh, what did they do? They got a GM.
They got a GM. They interviewed Bieniemy, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Bieniemy seems to make sense. You have Deshaun Watson. Maybe we can scheme up some stuff. But like we said, they're such a horrible organization. Did you see what J.J. Watt said to Watson walking off the field?
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. We wasted one of your years.
It's like, damn, man. Like,
he's right, though.
He's like, this team feels it. They're like, we just suck, man. Like, Deshaun is amazing. And JJ's amazing. But, like, that just tells you the rest of the team feels the same way. It's like, this is horrible over here. Like, we just wasted an amazing talent, and nothing seems like it's changing going into
and
the
nothing
future.
Comes out of it. You have no first or second round pick.
Exactly. It's not like, and it's not like they have young guys right now that are on the come up. It's like, this team's just a bunch of, like, old and just a bunch of guys everywhere. It's horrible.
So that's why I think the name they interviewed first, Marvin Lewis, just to put the cherry on top for Houston's lack of ability to produce. And I think you can get a Marvin. I think you'll get a Marvin Lewis, or if they get Eric Bieniemy, I don't like that for him because it's like, what do you like? Yeah. Yes, you have Deshaun Watson, but
you have nothing else.
Yeah, you really you have JJ Watt on defense. You have a few like Zach Cunningham.
They're gonna cut JJ Watt. I think.
You think they'll cut him?
They have to pay him $17 million. If they cut him, they pay him nothing. Frees up $17 million. Yeah, and if you're JJ, what? I know JJ is like Houston. Like he does everything in the city. Like he is Houston. I think they just sit down with him and be like, hey, do you want to be here? If you want to be here, we pay you. If you don't want to be here, you want to go try to win a ring, we'll cut you.
But he's going to say he wants to be there because of their money anyway, even if he doesn't want to be there. He's not getting $17 million anywhere else.
Probably not, but a guy like JJ's gotten paid, has never won anything. Like, can we picture JJ Watt on the Green Bay Packers?
Jesus.
Joins his brother on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Like, that would just be sick.
Him on the Pittsburgh Steelers. But if that's the case, I'd still pick up the option and trade him because I still think you're going to get – because then he's an expiring contract, right? He only has 1 year left that they pick up.
Yeah, but you would think they would have done that already, maybe.
I don't know. That's a hard situation. I don't envy that GM because obviously J.J. Watt is not as a player worth $17 million right now.
Yeah.
But on the other hand,
he's everything to Houston.
He's a big locker room guy. He still has enough production that you'd probably pay him around 8 or 9. And what he's giving your organization, you don't really want a guy like that to leave the locker room. If anything, I'd still want him to be a part of the organization and helping me find the next coach. Because he has such a pulse on that locker room.
You would think. But just imagine that J.J. Watt's the third guy on a defensive line you got to worry about. Like, Jesus Christ.
Don't put him in here. If he's in Pittsburgh, we are not going to the Super Bowl. Either of us for like
he's in Pittsburgh. You got TJ and him on each side. It's like, God damn, this is going to be tough for everybody out here.
I mean, I don't know if I'm going to the Super Bowl during the next 3 anyway, but let's not make it more difficult.
Right. I agree.
But that's all the vacancies.
Yep.
And I mean, we've shout out Devontae Smith for winning the Heisman. You know,
first receiver since 1991. That's got to mean
Howard
something.
Since Desmond Howard.
That's a big deal, man. Devontae Smith's a baller. He's still, I believe, second in the mock draft behind Jamar Chase, but he's a talent, and it's amazing that a wide receiver can still win the Heisman.
How high would you take him?
It depends on your needs, right? Like, I would hate taking a receiver in the top 5. Even a guy like Jamar Chase, who's amazing, I still wouldn't like it. But maybe if I'm at 10 or further, I'll take a receiver.
10 or further? Damn, that's kind of. I think the guy's a talent. I'd probably take him. I think
he's amazing. I just don't know if you could. I mean, maybe you can. I don't know. Like a guy like Julio Jones is different. He's like 6'5". Like this is a guy that's a freak.
I think it all depends on what the Jets do. Because if the Jets don't take a quarterback, everyone's talking Penei Sewell. Yeah, right. It's going to be Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
That's that. If we get Jamar Chase, like we could have a little problem over there. And then Miami has the 3rd pick, so they need a receiver anyway.
Miami would be like a good fit, yeah.
Because
maybe a team like the Bengals need linemen though.
Philly's going to be there at 6.
Philly at 6 would make sense, yeah.
But that's a I don't know, maybe a little Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, you don't know that.
I like him. He's nice. But that should be short NFL week. Short NFL week. Yeah. But we got some heat for y'all on the basketball.
Straight up fire coming in right now.
So let's just take a quick break, give you a message, and leave some suspense for y'all.
Hey there, everyone. I'm Brendan Murphy, host of the Murphy's Law podcast. Every Tuesday and Friday, I bring you the latest news and notes from around the world of sports. We mostly cover baseball, football, and golf, and I bring in a lot of different guests to help me break down the biggest news of the week. If you're enjoying Brofluent, be sure to come and check out Murphy's Law every Tuesday and Friday, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, or wherever you get your podcast. I hope to see you there, and enjoy the rest of this episode of Brofluent.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Hope y'all enjoyed that quick message from, our lovely supporters. Murphy's Law, shout out. Go check it out if you get a chance. Obviously, you already heard that, but you're going to hear it again because
Murph.
Not. Shout out Murph. He's also on YouTube now if y'all want to check him out. As we transition away, he transitions there.
How about that?
But the 2020-2021, officially 2021, NBA season is underway. Started over the holidays, started over our break, really.
Yeah.
And, I am excited. I am enjoying it.
Me too.
That's not just because I'm a Nets fan.
Well,
how you feel?
I hate to burst your bubble, but the Nets are 4-4. So, I mean, I don't know if I'm super excited. If Katie's got COVID, does he care about the team? He's out partying, getting COVID.
Partying? He's with his family.
500. Like, I don't know if I'm super happy if I'm a Nets fan. That's just how I feel.
Oh, my God. I want to tell you, this man sounds exactly how all the Miami Heat haters sounded when they first started, and they started off like what? Like they were probably like 4-4 too to start.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. So no big deal. There's 72 games. Don't talk to me about the first 8, bro. We'll get there. We need to play defense. We're gonna figure that out.
You know, I'm just bagging on you right now.
I understand. And that's what happens when fans of teams that aren't really doing anything can't.
Oh,
They have to hate. So
what you mean? We're 2 games behind y'all.
I mean, y'all in the West. You are not 2 games.
2 games? Could you imagine that? That's all I'm saying.
All right, Lou Dort.
Yeah,
Anyway,
boy's tough.
Boys, he's Andre Roberson 2.0.
He's something. That's what he is. He's something.
All right, but we do have 2 things for y'all. The first thing we want to get into is our prediction cards that we made the first week of the season. So we do have a little insight. It's not preseason, but we did the first week of the season. So to start off, I think we should give y'all our most surprising teams from the East and from the West. I want Tom to lead us off.
Okay, now this is one team's going to shock you here. The other team's not going to because of the start they got off to. From the West, the Phoenix Suns.
The Phoenix Suns, okay.
5-2, playing good ball, look good with CP3, look like a good team. We talked to maybe they'd be a 7th seed. They're looking like they might be even a little better than that, right? They're going to jump. They might be 5, maybe. They're a good team right now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, from the East, and this was a team I would have picked before we even did this. That's why I stuck with them here. And they haven't started off too but they're going to get better as the season went on. And that's the Charlotte Hornets. I think the Hornets might surprise some people and get an 8 seed. I really think so. That, again, didn't start off too hot, but we see LaMelo getting better and better each game. Shooting a 3-ball well, making plays. I saw a hilarious thing that was like LaMelo made a normal pass, and they're like, yo, LaMelo's pass was crazy.
Yeah, I've seen that.
They do gas LaMelo up more than anyone I've ever seen. But I like them. I like the team. I think they're a fun team. I'm just rooting for them, so that's why I think I have them there. Who do you have?
That's fair. For me, all right, I originally did have the Suns too, but I conversed with some people, and they told me, like, we kind of expect the Suns to make the playoffs, so maybe it's not that surprising.
Right.
I'm with it, though. I like that pick. I got a real surprising one. The Houston Rockets. Oh, everyone's talking about how they're trading James. They're going to be bummy this year. We don't expect them to get into the playoffs. I think the Houston Rockets will make the playoffs, and they will be a 6 or 7 seed, and at worst, they will be in the play-in game. Now, the play-in game would not be really surprising because that's kind of where people expect them to be. But at this current moment, I expect James Harden to finish the season with Houston. And It looks like John Wall and Christian Wood are going to handle it even if he's gone. So
hey, Wall's been balling. Wood's been balling. It looks like Boogie just got thrown out of a game, but that's Boogie. But, I mean,
Boogie's back to being Boogie.
Right. They look like the pieces they signed and traded for are working out so far.
100%. And in the East, I said this preseason, and it's coming to fruition already. The Philadelphia 76ers. I think they're going to be
okay, but how are they surprising?
How? Because we never expect them to be a top 3 seed, and everyone's been talking about Embiid and Simmons not working and them having to break that up, and Doc Rivers being the choke artist that he is, no disrespect, having to come in there and not really make a difference. And, is Seth Curry really going to do this? But I really think Philly's going to be a top 3 seed and team to be reckoned with in the playoffs.
I got to come at you here because how do we not think Philly's top 3 seed?
If we don't,
Embiid,
if we want to take
Simmons, now Danny Green, Seth Curry, Tobias
I feel like
Harris.
The narrative's changed. I feel like the narrative was that they need to break these 2 up and they're never going to be anything without them. A lot of people didn't have them ahead of Boston or ahead of obviously Milwaukee and Brooklyn, teams like that. And I think they're going to end up being over there ahead of Toronto, and I think they're going to end up being top. But if that's not there, I also expect the Indiana Pacers to be a little surprising. And a lot of people are taking them out of the playoffs. I was a victim of that. But week 1, I saw them play the Knicks, and I was like, you know what? I think they'll solidify themselves in there.
Oh, I respect that. Pacers is a good one.
So we're there. But now we're on to the most disappointing teams in both conferences.
I'm gonna hit you with some heat on this one. See, I mean, actually, what I just did right there, I didn't even mean to do, but I just did it.
Oh, I see what he's doing.
I didn't even mean to do what I just did, but I did it. The Miami Heat. I think they make the playoffs. I think they drop off a little bit though this year. I think last year a lot of stuff came together for them, except the injuries in the finals. Mm-hmm. But during the regular season, the first couple rounds, I thought this team was playing way better than we thought any of them would play as a team. I think they take a step back. They'll still make the playoffs, maybe a first-round exit this year. Maybe they get to second-round Blues, but I don't think they're a finals contender this year. I think they drop off a little bit. And for the West, it's a team that's – I don't know if I would have picked them, so this one might be cheating kind of, when they started off bad. The Trailblazers.
The Trailblazers, really? You don't think they'll rebound? I feel like they do this every year.
I think we've seen this team for so long. And now we saw them make it to the finals or Western Conference Finals that one year, or the semifinals. But we know what kind of team they are. It's Dame and CJ getting buckets. It's different guys stepping up at different times, but never a third star, never enough to beat a top 3 team, top 2 team. So I think maybe they drop off a little bit. I could see them still making playoffs maybe, but as an 8 seed maybe and getting knocked out by LA like they did last year. But they're more talented than that, and maybe not making it and finishing at 9.
Well, speaking of that, there was some news I haven't brought up yet. Supposedly, Damian Lillard is pushing for Portland to make a move for Draymond Green. Do you think that's a difference maker? Do you like it? I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I guess it's
not to be aggressive, but fuck no. You not Draymond 5 years ago was an all NBA defender. Now I'm not too sure. We know the boy can't shoot. He's a decent passer for the 4 spot, but what? I don't see that. I don't see that at all.
Yeah.
And who you giving up to get Draymond? What?
I'd probably give up Zach Collins. Not too much.
I wouldn't want to give him too much, but the Warriors might be like, "Hey, this is a champion."
I just don't think they need him because you just got Rocco, and I mean Rocco is as good as a defender and a 3-point threat. And I guess if you want to go small ball, you'd use Draymond at the 5, but if you're going small ball already, you're using Rocco at the 4.
I don't like that at all. I don't think that does much for him anyway.
Yeah, I don't think it does much, but I don't want to say I hate it because, Draymond changes scenery. Still Draymond.
Right.
So. Now my most disappointing team in the East, like you, it's a little cheating. I'll tell you who I originally had. Originally, I said Milwaukee because I don't expect them to go anywhere again. And since Giannis already re-signed, it's kind of going to be like, all right, so we're going to be watching the same team for years until he has to get traded. But are you really disappointing if you're still a top 3 seed?
Not really.
Yeah. So my most disappointing team this season is going to be the Washington Wizards. They've started off really bad. Originally, I said on this show, yes, I'm already eating crow and saying it's not going to work out. Originally, I said that Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal would be a duo to be reckoned with. It turns out that a lot of people want to wreck with them, that it is not a problem at all. So Washington is definitely my most disappointing team. Don't expect them in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I think we both agree Washington, we expect them more out the gate with Russ and Beal. And Beal's been balling. We've seen Russ struggle a little bit. Had a good game recently, but that's a tough one. What did you really expect from, did you expect what? A top 5 seed in the East?
I said 6 seed. I did say 6 seed. So for me, that's that's going to be really disappointing when they don't make the playoffs. For the West, I was telling people preseason, I said, I don't understand all this chatter that they're going to be nice all of a sudden. Do you know how bad they were last season? The Golden State Warriors are not going to make the playoffs, are not going to be near the play-in game. And while Steph puts his team on his back and does what he does, I'm not expecting much. Because at best, you're just going to be what Russ did with that OKC team. If you get to the playoffs, and you're going to be out in 5 games, max. Team's bad, bro. It's bad. Juan Toscano Anderson should not be on the floor yet. Not saying he's not a good basketball player. He's an NBA player, but come on, bro. This team is bums. They can't compete with top tier.
I want to agree with you, but I love the fact that it's just Curry right now. Like, let's see what Curry does by himself. Remember when they had Klay Thompson and KD, and it was like maybe a little before KD, but hey, is Curry better than LeBron James? Is Steph Curry taking over as the best player in the world? All right, now let's see Curry and I think Curry is amazing. I think he's the best point guard in the NBA. We've seen him in the last 2 games fill it up. 91 points in the last 2 games. Like, he's amazing. But let's see what he does with a team like this, that if LeBron James had a team like this, they'd be like, hey, he's got some options out there on the court. He's got a former number 1 pick. He's got Kelly Oubre. He's got number 2 pick in James Wiseman, right? They'd be saying that if this was LeBron's team. Now that it's Curry's team, everyone's like, oh, he has nothing. Like, let's see what he does. I think they will make the playoffs, but I think they'll be like 7 or 8.
See, and I don't want to go that far and say they don't have nothing. I know I just said they're full of bums, but it's their bench is full of bums. Because I said that when we were talking about the draft before. I said I wouldn't take Wiseman. No disrespect to even how good Wiseman has turned out so far. It's just if I can trade back and fill my bench out and then keep a Marquise Chris or plug in any plug-and-play center, like talk Andrew Bogut out of retirement or something, and just throw him there, I think we'll be better than they have proven to be with James Wiseman getting 10 and 10, Draymond doing his thing, and Kelly Oubre going 1 for 40 from 3. Like, I don't know. I just don't expect him to do much.
Wiseman's been playing well, though.
He has. He's been good, and he's a Rookie of the Year candidate. But yeah, it's just like, how much do you expect from him, really? Like, if we're really talking about it, he's getting like 10 and 10. So, like, yes, that's good. That's good for a rookie. But if your next best player is getting 10 and 10, and then Andrew Wiggins gives you, what, 17?
And Kelly Oubre just can't make a 3 to save his life.
Kelly Oubre is giving you, what, 13, 12?
It's like we both said we like Kelly Oubre as a player. Last year with the Suns, he was nice.
Right.
But he was able to make jump shots last year. This year, he's been struggling.
Draymond's amazing debut. 1 point. Kevon Looney. That brace on his elbow is bigger than Ben Roethlisberger's. Like, I know, like, the dude can rebound, but, like, come on, bro. After that, it's nothing. It's really nothing.
Yeah, you might have a point. I think they sneak in, though. I do. I think Curry puts them on the back and they sneak in.
Can I ask you who you take out then?
What?
Who do you take out then?
Who do I take out then?
Because I feel like we'll agree the Lakers are in.
Portland? I might take Portland out.
So if you take Portland out, you're telling me that you're keeping OKC's not going to be in.
All right, don't hit on my guys, obviously.
Houston's going to stay in.
Grizzlies aren't getting in.
Grizzlies aren't getting in. I think the Pelicans
aren't getting in.
Pelicans have been really disappointing so far.
Pelicans are what, 4 and 3? They ain't gonna. I don't think they get in though.
Okay, if you're gonna take Portland out and put them in, all right. So you think they'd beat Portland in a play-in game? Because don't forget we have that this year, but we have the play-in game. Seeds is, I think it's 7 through 10 or 8 through 9 or some shit like that.
Hey, I saw a meme where it said Damian Lillard is Steph Curry's son. Every time they play, Curry dropped like a 50-piece on him. I'm taking the Warriors over the Trailblazers.
That's disrespectful, though. Let's not say that to Dame. All right. So next we have our actual awards predictions. Hopefully we'll put a little banner here. You know, enjoy that. A little awards predictions for you.
That's a big deal.
It's
a big deal.
It's a big deal, bro.
Like, come on.
All right. Coach of the year. Who do you have?
And this is a guy you were just hating on. And that's kind of why I laughed when you said it. My coach of the year is going to be Doc Rivers. The Sixers, but as you said, the Sixers, you think there's your surprise team. They're going to finish a top 2 seed in the East. We've seen them in the past not be that team. Doc Rivers gets my coach of the year. Doc, welcome back to being an elite coach.
I'm not against that. I thought about Doc for this, but at the end, the coach of the year usually goes to the team with the best record or the team that surprised the most and lost. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't think there's going to be that many surprises. As you saw, we were reaching for straws.
Yeah.
So I think Frank Vogel is going to get Coach of the Year, and the Lakers are going to have the best record in the NBA.
I could see that.
Next, we have the sixth man of the year. I think we know where I'm going. So,
and I think I'm agreeing with you. He's the first name that comes to mind this year. Obviously, there's always like a Lou Williams, right, or Montrezl Harrell, but
right,
your boy from Brooklyn. I'll let you announce it because it's your boy,
Karis Levert.
Yeah, sixth man.
Sixth man of the year. And do you know what's funny? Even with the Spencer Dinwiddie injury, the fact that they still want him coming off the bench is gonna be big because they've started Bruce Brown.
Bench. That's what he does.
He gets the whole offense and he gets to play with the starter. So I like it. I do like.
He's really a bucket too. He's really a bucket.
But now this is definitely a big award because there's a lot of ways you can go here. Most improved.
I want to see who you say first. I want to see who you say.
Want to see who I say?
Yeah.
I know it's kind of cheating. I went through people that, I've said Shai Gilgeous before. It's not him.
Right.
I think because, you're going from 18 to what, 23?
Yeah, exactly. Right.
I've said Colin Sexton before. What? You're going from 20 to 22.
Okay.
Markelle Fultz.
Ooh.
Markelle Fultz is going to be going up from 13 points to around 20 points a game. And I think the Magic are going to hold on to their 8th seed and make the playoffs again. And I think it's going to have to attribute to a lot of what Markelle Fultz and Cole Anthony do out of that backcourt.
Wow. Markelle Fultz. I got to tell you, I like that. We both said we liked the contract extension they gave the Fultz. I like that because they've been playing well and he's been playing well.
He's been showing it, man. He has definitely been showing it.
Wow. I like what you just did right there. I stay on the safe side with this. I didn't pick Shea because I think he's already shown enough.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe this guy's shown enough too, but he has a lot of haters. And I'm picking Colin Sexton. He has a lot of haters. We saw
he has.
When he was a rookie, they were like, oh, this kid can't play. Remember people in the locker room were like, this kid sucks, he can't play.
Yeah.
But now we've seen him improve. And he put up a lot of points last year, and it's only going to improve a little bit. But I think Cleveland might be a better team this year, as we're seeing early. Now I think they'll fall back. Obviously not stay where they're at, but I think they improve a little bit, and he's going to be in that run. And I'll give it to Sexton. I think he plays hard. He's turning into a good player. I like him.
And you know what? I wouldn't be mad if they gave it to Sexton. But like I said, my point was he averaged 20 last year.
Yeah. You're right.
Like,
team improvement might be it for him.
Right. So, but I like it. I like Colin. Big player. Surprise! No one mentioned Christian Wood. I think Christian Wood should low key be in the combo.
That's true. He had good numbers last year, though.
He did.
But he gets a lot of. He might.
Next we have Rookie of the Year. I know where you're going, so just say it.
My man, LaMelo Ball. What do we expect? He's the human highlight reel right now. I mean,
inbound passes.
I know, right? It's like he rolls in. They're like, "Whoa!" Yeah, he's shooting the ball well. He looks good. He's not starting. I don't know if
I think that's really stupid, actually.
Graham and I believe Rozier. Rozier's been balling, no doubt. But I think you have to start LaMelo. He was your third pick. I don't know why he's not starting, but
Devontae Graham hasn't been playing good this year. I understand what he's doing, but like,
agreed. I think you put LaMelo in there. You let him rock. You let him mess up. You let him keep playing. I think he gets. But I am a little taken back on it because of him not playing as much as I thought he would be playing.
And that's why I was 100% taken back by it. And I went with the person playing the most, Anthony Edwards.
Oh, Anthony Edwards. I thought you might have said Wiseman. Okay.
No, I think because Wiseman's starting, but Wiseman's still he's still switching with the bigs there a lot.
And Edwards pretty well so far.
He's been balling. A1 from day one is what I've been told. So
he's a rapper. I mean, he's got some things going.
He does, bro. You name it, I could do it. I'll be there.
Swimming, I could do that.
But
oh my.
I got the Ant-Man because you know what? He's getting buckets. He's getting an opportunity with Cat going down and them having a weird situation. They want to start Rubio. They want to put D'Lo at the 2. They want to put Beasley at the 3. Like, Like,
trying to fuck it up is what they're doing.
Ryan Saunders is gonna get fired. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
I'm like, oh, he might be a nice young coach. I hate when no, Russell's the point guard. Stop playing all this stupid shit.
Let Ricky come off the bench, bro. Like, just
Right.
let it happen.
We've seen Russell by himself in Brooklyn lead a team that was no good to a playoffs.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I got Anthony Edwards, and I have a hot take at Defensive Player of the Year.
All right, I'll go first, and we'll let your build up because mine is standard. Anthony Davis. We thought he should have won it last year, right? It was bullshit that we both said that Giannis won it, right?
He should have won it 100%.
AD should have won it. I think comes back this year. He wins Defensive Player of the Year because I know they should have gave it to him last year. He's going to have the same numbers probably as last year. Mm-hmm. I'm going AD.
I was rocking with AD for so long. Like, as long as we were waiting, like, as long as we made these lists, I was with AD. But it's going to be Joel Embiid.
Get the hell out of here.
It's going to be Joel Embiid. I'm pretty sure he leads the league in blocks right now, and the Sixers are the best defensive team in the league, and I think Joel Embiid is going to take it home this year. Doc hasn't playing defense.
NBA said Joel Embiid's number one in rankings for MVP right now.
That's not going to happen.
Exactly. That's not going to happen, but Defensive Player of the Year, early on, he's got
something.
Yeah, early on.
I battled with Andre Drummond, too. It depends on how good the Cavs are. I don't expect them to be good, so that's why I didn't put him there. But, I mean, if you lead the league in rebounds again and you're up there in blocks, like, come on, bro.
Yeah, I feel that.
Next.
The biggest award.
No, we have scoring champ. Then the biggest award.
Right, scoring champ. Go ahead, because I think I know who you're going to pick.
I actually picked Trae Young.
Oh!
And it's only because while I love James Harden and I would love for him to do it again, I think when all of them are healthy and playing, James Harden's going to average around 30 like he usually does. He averaged 30 last year. Yeah, but like how long do we expect it? And if he does get moved, if he does get moved, that's going to hamper some things.
I agree.
So I'm going safe bet. Trae Young's an average damn near 30 anyway, and the Hawks can get into the playoffs.
He's a beast. I watched the whole Knicks-Hawks game the other night because I put a little parlay on it. Missed $1,000 by 4 points of Julius Randle.
You went under?
I took him under 23, finished with 28 or something. Everyone else I hit, of course. 10 for 1,000, and I missed it. Anyway, scoring champ. I'm not going to go Harden because that's the obvious pick. Going Steph Curry.
I like that.
91 points in the last 2 games. He's going to fill it up. He's going to be around the 30 mark. I think maybe he'll be at like 32, and that gets him the scoring title. It's just him. It's just him. He can shoot whenever the hell he wants.
That's fair. I have no problem with that. He's already scored 62 this season, so why can't he do it multiple times?
3 quarters.
Yeah.
That's insane.
But now for the MVP, who you got, man?
Who I got the MVP. It's funny we did the list like this, right? We let it up.
Build up.
And it build up, right? And it just happens to be that my scoring champ is also my MVP. The MVP of the league for, the third time this will be, I think?
Yes, this would be his third MVP.
Third time, got a unanimous one. I think he leads the league in scoring. Warriors sneak into the playoffs, and they're not necessarily a good team. Steph Curry gets the MVP. Steph, congrats on your third. I mean, he's climbing up the ranks. He's one of the all-time great point guards. If Giannis wins an MVP again, putting up the same stats, I'll shoot myself. I've had enough of it already. Giannis cannot get it again. He cannot. I don't care if he puts up 30, 10, and 10 like he does every year. Stop. Just stop. We know he's not the most valuable player in the NBA. We know it. It's a fact.
I thought about Giannis again. I'm not gonna lie.
No,
but
it can't. It can't.
If I think Milwaukee's not going to be as good as they are last year, I can't tell you that Giannis is an MVP.
True.
But there is a team that's going to be significantly better this year, and this man is coming off a significant injury. He's averaging damn near 30 a game.
Oh my god!
And it's gonna be Kevin Durant.
Oh my!
Second MVP. Call me a homer if you want, but when it happens, it won't look like I'm much of a homer because the Nets will be a top 3 seed. Kevin Durant will average around 28, 29 points per game off an Achilles injury. And people will look and say, you know what? When Kevin Durant was not on this team last year, they were bottom feeders in the East. And this year he's here.
I can't even listen to you right now. I can't.
Why? Why can it not be KD?
Are you serious right now?
He's averaging. He's shooting 50, 50, 90 right now.
The boy who doesn't care about his team and is going to get COVID and is out the next 4 games is going to be
his family. He was with his family. I almost picked Kawhi too, but I don't think Kawhi's going to play enough games.
I will tell you this. Kyrie Irving should be in front of Kevin Durant for MVP this year.
But do you see them voting Kyrie over KD, though? Not what it should be.
Listen. You watched that game yesterday, by any chance?
Oh, yeah, 100% against the Jazz. He smoked them. Started off, what, 8 for 8?
Man, 7 for 7. Just filling it up.
He's a dog.
He is a dog. And KD don't care. He got COVID. He don't care.
This guy.
Eric, did you get COVID?
No, I didn't.
Wait, did I get COVID? No, I didn't get COVID. And I traveled. I didn't get COVID.
He didn't get COVID, though. He was a close contact because one of his family members had it. And he saw one of his family members.
Oh, it's family. Oh.
Him.
Or something like this, Eric. Is he hanging out with Dwayne Haskins at the strip club?
Oh, this guy.
Eric, is he not wearing a mask at the strip club like Mr. Dwayne Haskins?
All right. There's not lemon pepper KD.
I know KD's from like Washington, isn't he? Or Maryland, or wherever the hell he's from.
Yeah,
right?
He's from Maryland. He's from Maryland.
Over in that area. Unreal. It's DMV. Unreal.
Hey.
Unreal.
Well, we'll see where this talk is when he holds that MVP trophy and he looks at Kyrie the same way he looked at Russ.
That'll be. Hey, don't talk shit about my boy, all right?
And look, last but not least, obviously, I'm going to be the complete homer now. Finals matchup: I have Nets Lakers. Champion Brooklyn Nets. Finals MVP Kevin Durant.
All right. Before I go off on you, because I got to, I'll give you.
I have to.
No, I have to. It's going to be the Lakers out of the West. It's not going to be the Nets. I'm sorry.
Don't say it's going to be the Bucks.
It's going to be the Philadelphia 76ers. And I'll tell you why, Eric. I'll tell you why. And I was telling you this earlier, right? I was saying it's going to be Nets Lakers. It's going to be. It's going to be an amazing matchup. I'd love to see it. I don't want to say this, Eric, but I have to. Somebody's going to get hurt. KD.
That's horrible.
I don't want to say it, but it's true. One of them is going to go down. That's just the way it works with them. KD's going to get hurt or Kyrie's going to get hurt. Then you're not going to have enough. You'll be exited in the second round, and someone like Philly, because you guys got hurt, will make it to the finals. And the Lakers will win. And
LeBron will hold another.
Do I say LeBron? Do I say, or do I give this one to AD? Nah, Philly ain't got nobody for LeBron. That's LeBron's MVP.
So we went the ways everyone expected. We went the ways everyone expected. I can't say much to it. If the Nets don't put their stuff together, I could see the Lakers winning. I could see the Clippers upsetting y'all too. I don't expect it, but it could happen.
Spurs last night?
I don't want to sleep on nobody. I don't want to sleep on nobody. We're 7 games in. A lot of teams. 72 games. 72 games.
Hey, since that's the end.
Can we get to 20 first? I just want to get to 20 first.
Eric, since that's the end of that, right? Now that's what we're gonna hold each other to that, right?
Yeah, of course.
I did this thing. I like doing power rankings. I like changing them every week, right?
Of course.
So I went and I made a top 10 NBA power rankings. I want to see if you agree with me, all right?
Oh, let's see this. Let's bounce this off real quick.
Today, I'm going to do it real quick. I just want to see what you think. And I'm going to go from 10 to 1.
All right.
At 10, the team the Brooklyn Nets beat yesterday, beat the shit out of the Utah Jazz. Jazz are 4-3, middle of the West, still a good team at number 10. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Number 9, your Brooklyn Nets. They just beat the shit out of the Jazz. Listen, I know the Nets are better than the next 5 teams at least, right? But they're 4-4. We got to hold the record to some accountability in power rankings, right? If the records didn't matter, I'd just say Lakers, Clippers, Nets, Sixers, right? It'd be easy. You got to hold accountability for the record. They're 4-4.
Right.
Okay. At 8, the Bucks. They're 4-3. They've won, I think, 2 in a row or 3 in a row if they're playing bad early. Yeah, starting to go off. They're at 8. Now, a team that the Nets and the Bucks are obviously better than. The Magic at 7. They're 5-2. You can't say a 4-4 is better than 5-2 right now. You can't. You can't, Eric. Can you?
I don't like the Magic there, but continue.
At 6,
you go to the
Boston
Cavs.
Celtics. They're 5-3. Jaylen Brown.
I don't hate that.
Kendrick Perkins said Jaylen Brown better than Jason Tatum. I don't know about that, but
that is ridiculous. I want to shut that shit down right now.
I like K Perk that he's on TV, but I think he's starting to just.
He's so emotional, bro.
Yeah,
he's so emotional. Like, there's no reason to say like. Don't forget, Pascal was top 10. Like,
yeah, that's absurd.
Before the playoffs.
Okay. Anyway, Celtics at 6, 5-3. At 5, the Los Angeles Clippers, 5-3. It would be number 3 if they did not lose to the Spurs last night.
The Clippers ahead of the Celtics?
They are. They're one spot. They're both 5-3.
I'd put the Celtics higher. I know the Clippers are more talented, but the Celtics have been playing a lot better basketball.
That's 5-6.
And overachieving without Kemba.
The reason I put him at 5-2, Paul George didn't play last night. If he plays, they probably beat the Spurs. They lost by 30. Like, you know.
Okay.
At 4, this might shock you. The Indiana Pacers.
I have no problem with that.
Oh, thank you, Eric. I thought you might.
They've been rolling. No, they've been rolling.
Hey, have I been balling or what?
Your brother has been balling, bro.
Have I been balling or what?
If anybody that knows Tom, if you don't think Tom looks like Domantas Sabonis, you are blind. This dude they look exactly the same, bro.
They're 5-2, playing good ball. I like them. Number 3, the Phoenix Suns. At 5. At number 3, the Phoenix Suns. They're 5-2, second best record.
Fine. Yeah, no, that's fine.
Second best record in the West. Like, look, records matter early in the season in power rankings. We obviously know that the Clippers are probably better than the Suns, but we can't put them ahead if they're 5-3 and other teams. You know, you can't do it.
Right.
You can't do it, Eric. You just can't. At number 2, the 76ers. They're 6-1, best record in the NBA. Doc Rivers doing a great job. Embiid's playing, look like the best ball of his career right now. And at number 1, the reigning champs, the Los Angeles Lakers. 6-2, beat the Grizzlies last night in a game that was way too close, but they beat them. LeBron had a ridiculous fadeaway, but they're 6-2, number 1 in the West. They're my number 1 team right now. So what you think? What do you think about that?
My only issue would be if we're going records wise and it's carrying that much weight, I'd probably put Philly at 1 and the Lakers at 2, but that's not a big deal to me. Okay. I like Phoenix at 3. I'd like Boston at 4 because they just beat Indy too.
This is true.
I'd like
lost. That's the only reason I did it.
I'd like Milwaukee at 5. Then I'd do
ahead of the Clippers.
Yeah, I'd put Milwaukee ahead of the Clippers right now.
And then Clippers are 6.
Then I'd probably go Clippers. Clippers, Pacers, Nets,
Magic. That's 5-2.
Who'd you have at 10? Who'd you have at 10 though? Who'd you have outside?
4-3.
Who?
The Jazz.
The Jazz. What about Denver? What's Denver at?
No, they're down. I think they're like 3-4 or something. My bubble teams, I put
in the Magic, and then why don't you throw the Cavs in there? Fuck it.
I just looked at the other teams and I said, Cavs ain't beating none of them. I don't think they're beating. I think the Magic are better.
What about the Knicks?
The Knicks too, but I mean, let's be real. I don't think the Knicks are beating the Jazz, and I got Jazz at 10.
I think that 10th spot could be a better team, but I like the 9. I like the top 9.
My bubble ones were Pelicans, Hawks, Warriors.
Pelicans, Hawks. I like the Hawks. Pelicans have been really disappointing to me because when they lose, they get blown out.
So I don't know what to think of them yet.
All right.
But
Well,
anyway, I just
now
want to throw it out there for you.
that's fair. I like it. Hey, I'm fine. I love that. And this is really the list episode because now we're giving y'all the list that everyone's been waiting for.
I mean, this is heat coming.
This is some real knowledge being dropped.
If you don't understand the work that goes into making a list like this,
bro, this was hard.
You just don't know. You just don't know.
And it came down to the fucking wire.
It did. So I got a question for you. How do you want to do? Do you want to go top to bottom or like?
I want to go top to bottom because then you see who's ahead of who, and I feel like our top's going to be similar.
True.
So
good point.
We're gonna do our top 30.
How about we do this, right? Like, we're gonna do our top 30. I say mine, you say yours. Like at 1, if there's a difference, we talk, move on.
Yeah, we'll get by it quick. We'll definitely get by it quick. Because I feel like we have the same. So I think we should read our top. Actually, how about we read our top 5?
Okay.
Let's read our top 5.
Hard for me to remember.
And just go, because if we go by 5s, we're reading 6 times, and we'll talk about any discrepancies, really.
Okay. Take it slow because you know my memory is shit.
Yes. All right.
I'll get this thing popping.
You want to start off?
At number 1.
Let's go.
The King. LeBron. Hey, they can't be anybody else, Eric.
They can't.
Okay.
I can't say much. I don't want to give it away.
Okay, thank you. At number 2, you're going to be happy to hear it. Kevin Durant.
There we go.
Guys, don't forget, he's the second best player in the league.
This is trending in the right direction.
At number 3, here, I'll say okay. At number 3, this one, I thought about for a while. Kawhi Leonard. It's Kawhi.
Okay.
Who you got?
I like where this is going. We have the same top 3. Top 3.
Okay. At number 4, LeBron's best friend, partner in crime, Anthony Davis. At number 4. He's fantastic. He is fantastic. He was second on ESPN's ranking. I don't think he's second. I don't. But he's number 4 in mine. And at number 5, I just talk shit about him, but he's still the 5th best player in the world, and that's the Greek freak, Giannis, at number 5.
All right.
So
let's
if you
get into
remember,
this.
That's Bron, KD, Kawhi, AD, Giannis.
All right.
What's the problem, Eric? What's the problem?
I agree. Bron, reigning Finals MVP, reigning champion, deserves it. Number 1. KD, I don't care if he was injured. He is still better than the next few when everybody else on this list. Kevin Durant. 3, I agree with you. Kawhi Leonard. Mm-hmm. We can't, while he did fold last year, we can't forget that championship 2 years ago and what he did on the way. Even though it's kind of fluky because people got hurt, but he's still there.
Yes.
At 4, I have Giannis because we cannot forget that even while he's had his issues, he is a back-to-back MVP. And the question isn't if he will get a ring, it is when he will get a ring. He just hasn't got it yet. And then at number 5, I have Anthony Davis. So we have one discrepancy with AD and Giannis.
Okay.
And
I have
Giannis.
I got a big problem with this discrepancy, Eric. Guy's got a ring. Should have won Defensive Player of the Year over the guy you said. You said that.
Yes.
I think Anthony Davis covering Giannis could probably slow down Giannis. I think so. Right? Would you think so?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Giannis slows down Anthony Davis. I'm not sure.
I think he can.
I'm not sure about that.
Down Anthony Davis. We've seen Jokic slow down. Let's not act like AD didn't have a few games where he only had 3 boards and like he didn't have look, AD had a great playoffs. He earned that ring. But I do think there's a little discrepancy of if AD was in Milwaukee, and we have seen AD by himself already. Well, I don't want to solely hold it against him because what happened in New Orleans, they kind of wasted a lot of what he could do, and they didn't put the right pieces around him. But if AD was in Milwaukee, there's some things that Giannis can do that AD can't do. And yes, I understand AD is a better shooter.
AD's a better shooter, right?
AD cannot push the ball in transition the way Giannis can. And Giannis is their primary ball handler.
No, he cannot.
So they can't survive. Put it this way. They can't survive with Eric Bledsoe at the 1 and get to the Eastern Conference Finals with Anthony Davis, in my opinion.
Really?
I don't think so because AD works so well with Bron.
He does.
Because Bron is a primary ball dominant player that can get him the ball where he needs it. And AD can kind of pick his own spots because the ball is going to be there when he gets there. So AD might be more talented on the offensive end, but overall as a player right now, I'm not ready to put him over a 2-time MVP.
Well, we're just going to have to disagree on that, Eric. One's a champion, one's not. I'm going to leave it at that.
Well, Kyle Lowry's a champion. He's not ahead of...
I'm going to say he's a champ. I'm leaving it at that.
All right. So
anyway, you list your next 5. Then
my next 5. At number 6, I have James Harden, just outside my top 5. At number 7, I have Stephen Curry. I don't want to forget him. He's very important.
Yes, he is.
This might be a little shocker. It was something I battled with a while. At number 8, I have Luka Doncic. At number 9, I have Damian Lillard. And the biggest shocker, I know it's going to be shocking to everybody. Oh my God, no way. That guy's definitely not as talented as that guy. At 10, I have Jimmy Butler.
Woo! Okay, Eric. I'm going to tell you this.
Who do you have?
We have actually the same guys in our next 5. Not in the exact order, but the same 5 guys.
Okay.
So I think that just shows something. That shows that we know what we're looking at, right?
All right.
Obviously, you can swap a spot.
I expected to have a different guy in there. Don't get me wrong. I expected you to have a different guy in there.
Shocked where I have one guy.
Let's hear it.
At 6, my pick for MVP, Steph Curry.
Okay, I don't hate that.
And at 7 is Harden. So we swapped there.
Okay.
Reason I picked Steph instead of Harden. 3-time champion. I believe he's going to be scoring champ this year. They're like almost interchangeable, I want to say. One guy can like Harden, one guy can like Steph. That's fine. I'm not going to nitpick that you have Harden above Steph. It's fine with me. At 8, this is where you had Luka Doncic, right?
Yes.
My one thing with Luka, I think he's amazing. I'm a big fan of him. He hasn't won anything yet. Now he's only been in the league 2 years. This is his 3rd year, right?
Yes.
He hasn't won anything yet. I value winning, Eric. I do. I got Damian Lillard at number 8. Okay. Dame Dollar. He's led a team that's good, not great, pretty deep in the playoffs. We know he's a killer. Second best point guard behind Curry. I got Dame. At number 9, Jimmy Buckets.
Wow.
Jimmy Buckets.
At 9.
Right, at 9. So you're saying, where's the guy you love? Luka. He's at number 10. Reason I have Butler in front of Luka. Do I think Luka could have did what Butler did last year with that Heat team? At this point in his career, I don't think so. I don't think he's got that mental makeup yet, like Jimmy Butler.
I think I'm not gonna lie. I think he could have. That was one of the main reasons I had made.
I just don't know if he's there mentally yet. Jimmy Butler is a dog, and he's there. He's ready at all times. This man was dropping 45 points, which we didn't think Jimmy Butler could even do.
And going at LeBron James, 100%.
So I value winning. Has Luka made some playoffs last year?
Mm-hmm. You can argue he would have beat the Clippers.
Give Clippers a fit, but Butler led his team to the finals. That's the biggest difference. Luka at 10.
See, I don't hate it because it's a lot of things I went through. But at the end of the day, when it comes to first, let's start with the James Steph argument. For me, I went James because Steph Curry did only play 5 games last year. He was hurt.
Okay,
and I understand his total makeup and how he plays and what his legacy says.
Yeah.
One guy was a scoring champ, an all-star and all-NBA player, and the other guy was hurt. So in my opinion, I used to have James Harden in my top 5 while he did kind of do his usual thing in the playoffs where he averaged 30, but they didn't go nowhere. It's very different to a guy that wasn't even there, in my opinion. So he's over him for right now. While legacy, clearly Steph Curry's a top 15 player in my mind.
Yeah.
I would just have James Harden ahead of him. But again, like you said, it's not a big discrepancy. It's not a big deal.
Okay.
Now, the Luka Dame thing, I was battling with this for a
It's tough.
while because, like you said, I want to value winning too. And Dame getting his team to the Western Conference Finals multiple times carries a lot of weight. But do we think Damian Lillard can be a championship player? Like be the number one guy, championship team?
I think so.
Okay, I'm not 100% sure, but I think I'm 100% sure on Luka. Because Dame is definitely the second best point guard in the NBA. No doubt in my mind. But for Luka, I also thought about them switching teams. And if they switch teams, both of those teams are still nasty.
Absolutely.
Like, I love Luka in Portland. I love Dame in Dallas. But to me, I think Dame does rely a little more on CJ than people put, and that reflects in my rankings. And then I think Luka is, while KP's a lot, KP also is not there a lot. So that's why I went that way. And then Jimmy, you needed to give him credit for going to the finals and what he did. So he has to be top 10.
He has to. Has to be.
Who are your next five?
Where does ESPN have Jimmy Butler?
They had him outside. They had him at 12, I think. Both them and Bleacher Report had him at 12.
Disrespectful.
Yeah, I thought that was disrespectful too. They had Luka at both teams had Luka in the top 5.
That's kind of crazy.
Dame was around the same spot, 8 or 9. Steph was around between 8 and out just outside the top 5, and James was the ESPN had James at 9. I thought that was disrespectful.
That's disrespectful. He's averaging 37 right now. Come on.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll do my next 5. My turn. Now this is where like it just gets ridiculous, right? Like you could ask me tomorrow, I might have a different guy in a different spot, right?
Mm-hmm.
At 11, the second best big in the NBA, I guess, if you want to classify it as that. The Joker.
Mm-hmm.
Jokic. He's at 11. He's got to be. He's amazing. He's a fantastic player. At 12, Joel Embiid. The Joker's a little better than Embiid. I don't know if you can really argue it either. I think Joker's better. Embiid's at 12, and at 13, this is where I could have this guy a lot lower. I could, but everybody raves about him, and I think he's an amazing player. But I've only seen 1 year of it. But I still put him here, and that's Bam Adebayo. I put him at 13.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. You're thinking there's a lot of guys better than Bam.
Yeah.
And I battled myself with that, but then I thought, I'm just thinking offense right now. I'm thinking this guy's almost 30. Bam's like 20. But Bam is one of the best defenders in the NBA. That's hands down. Can block the block on Jason Tatum to win that was amazing. But don't. I think he's the best or one of the best. When he gets switched in a pick and roll, on-ball defenders for a big. He's like one of the best. He's a phenomenal defender. So if we're counting both sides of the court here, Eric, Bam's got to be up here.
I don't know.
Averages 20 a game.
15. Are you talking this year, right now?
What was that, like 19 and a half?
I'm talking about him. I'm talking about what he had last year. He had a full season.
He's at 19 and a half right now this year. Anyway, I got him at 13, but I could see if people think there's something wrong with that. At 14. At 14. ESPN did this man dirty, Eric. Kyrie Irving.
Yes, thank you.
Kyrie is at 14. And the reason I put Bam in front of Kyrie is defensively. Bam can guard all 5 positions. Kyrie, just being the nature of being a 6'2" point guard, cannot. Kyrie's obviously way better offensively, but I had to go with Bam here. I just had to do it. At 15, Kyrie's old teammate. That's Jason Tatum. There's a lot of competition. There's about 5 guys that I was flip-flopping saying, if he was in his spot, could he do this? But then I'm like, I hate doing that. He's not there. Just what has this person done? And Tatum seems now to be blossoming into that superstar. Has been everything the Celtics have needed, is going off right now. I got Tatum at 15.
Ooh, boy. That is a hell of a list right there. That I'm not gonna lie, I got a few problems with that one. I got a few problems with that one.
Let me hear yours.
I have Jokic at 11 as well.
Same.
So we have the same guys in our top 11.
Okay.
At 12, I have Jason Tatum. And I don't really think it was between him and my next guy. And at 13, I have Kyrie Irving. And then at 14, I have Joel Embiid. And at 15, this is going to be the shocker where everyone's going to be like, yo, no way. Donovan Mitchell is a top 15 NBA player. And I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
Do you know anybody outside of probably those top 5 players, maybe James Harden included in that carries the offensive load that Donovan Mitchell carries?
Hey, you're gonna think I might come at you for this one, but I'm not. I'm not gonna. And next, I'll tell you why. I agree with you that Donovan Mitchell is absolutely fantastic. I do agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
But Jason Tatum better than Joel Embiid. I'd like to hear why.
Okay, so for Jason Tatum and Joel Embiid, it's not even close, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Whoa!
I'm gonna tell you why it's not even close, and solely because Joel Embiid, while he is a top big, Joel Embiid does need a lot of help around him, constantly, in the sense of if they don't win in the first rounds because Ben Simmons and Tobias Harris aren't able to hold up their end of the bargain. When Jimmy leaves, they take a radical decline. Now, is Joel one of the best bigs in the league? Of course. He's top 15 player, and I have him right behind Jokic, and it's very close with Jokic still. But Jason Tatum has been to the Eastern Conference Finals twice in 3 years. Didn't matter if Kyrie was playing, if Gordon Hayward was playing, Terry Rozier was playing. It didn't really matter how good Kemba Walker played, how good Jaylen Brown played, because Jason Tatum at the end of the day went out there and dropped 30 and got his team over Toronto in 7. He got his team over Philly. The only loss he ever had was against Milwaukee in the playoffs. He's been there every time. He has banged on Bron, and he what else does he need to do in his top 3 years to be solidified as on the borderline of being a top 10 player? He averages, hold up, I have it right here. Last year he averaged 23.5, 7 and 3 on 45, 40, 82. And in the playoffs, he led the playoffs in minutes. He was all NBA third team. He averaged 26 a game with 10 boards and 5 assists with a block and a steal per game with only 2 fouls. Sounds like he was playing a lot more defense than people give him credit for. And he is that Bam block away from being in the NBA Finals.
Okay. I like Tatum. Everything you're saying, it's true. He's had more success than Embiid. I would agree with that in the playoffs. But, my friend, I think you're doing what a lot of people do when they make these lists. They focus on one side of the court. They just look this way. They're like, oh, he's got the ball. Damn, that kid is good. Damn, that kid is good. That kid just hit a step back 3. That kid's good.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Tatum, good defender, as you just said, underrated defender, but is not in the same class as Joel Embiid. We've just mentioned Joel Embiid as a possible defensive player of the year.
But
with Embiid, what Embiid puts up, I don't have his numbers in front of me, but 25 to 28 points, 10 to 12 boards, and shot blocking.
Last year, Joel averaged 23 with 12 boards, same amount of assists, and literally 0.4 blocks ahead of Jason Tatum.
Okay.
In the playoffs, he averaged the same amount of blocks as Jason Tatum on 30 and 12 and was something to reckon with offensively. But he shot 25% from 3. And I don't want to overrate the other side of the ball too. I understand what you're saying because that's kind of the reason I have an issue with Bam being in the top 15 because I have Bam a lot lower. I don't want to ignore the offensive side of the ball either because Bam only averages 16 a game. Now, look, I understand he averages 16, 10, and 5, but Bam, if he's over Kyrie Irving for his defensive ability, he definitely needs to be over Steph Curry for his defensive ability. because Steph Curry is an actual liability on defense. And Kyrie isn't a great defender, but he's a better defender than Steph Curry. When the Warriors played the Nets on opening night, they made sure that two things were made sure in the Nets game against the Warriors and the Hawks. Steph was not guarding Kyrie, and Trae Young was not guarding Kyrie. The whole game, no matter what, didn't switch. They both stayed on either Timothy Luwalu or Spencer Dinwiddie, whoever was on the floor. So to me, that tells me that I can't overrate the defensive side of the ball, or I'm going to end up with Rudy Gobert in my top 10.
I don't think I'm overrating the defense. I think it's a 50-50 split. A guy that gives you 25 or 28 and 5, but is also giving you first-team NBA defense. How is that guy not a top 15 NBA player?
Joel wasn't named all defense last year.
Not Joel. I'm talking about Bam when I say.
Oh, Bam was all second team all defense.
How is that guy not your top 15 when he's giving you production and not even many shots either? He's not like he's the primary go-to guy. Let's not all just look at stats and be like, oh, he averaged 16 last year. Like, he can't beat top. He can't beat that. Like, let's look at what he's doing. He's got Jimmy Butler, Tyler Herro taking threes, Duncan Robinson chucking threes. That's just.
Can I ask you a question then, though?
Yeah, go ahead.
How isn't Giannis ahead of Kawhi? How isn't Giannis and forget Giannis? How isn't AD ahead of Kawhi then?
Because AD can't do what Kawhi can do offensively.
Okay, so can Bam do what Jason Tatum can do offensively?
No, but there's the bigger gap when it comes to defense between them two.
I think the gap on the offensive end is fucking crazy.
I think the gap's big.
Do you think Bam's ever going to score 20 points a game?
Yeah, I think this year he will. Right at 20. He's not a 25-point a game guy, but right at 20.
All right, I think Jason Tatum might lead the league in scoring one year.
He could. He's like a mellow type player. That's what I relate Tatum to.
All right, so I feel like that's a pretty significant gap if I think one guy can lead the league in scoring, and I don't know if one guy can really get to 20.
Not this year. You said 1 year. He ain't gonna
lead 1 year. Not just this year. I don't know if Bam's gonna get to 20.
I think he will, and that's why
jump shot.
Why he's better on my list than yours.
All right, and also just to go back on the Donovan Mitchell stuff. Do you know what Donovan Mitchell did in the playoffs? I know you weren't mad about it, but 30 led the playoffs in scoring with 36 per game.
I'll get to you in a ridiculous series.
On 53 from the field, 52 from 3, and 95 from the free throw line.
You're right. Absolutely right.
Disgusting. But
you're right. He's very close. So
we can move on to your next 5, bro.
All right. Oh no, it's your turn. Your turn to go 5.
Oh, you want me to? All right.
Yeah, your turn.
At 16, I have Chris Paul. At 17, I have Russell Westbrook.
What?
At 18, I have Paul George. At 19, I included him. You didn't. I put Klay Thompson.
Yeah, Klay's not injured.
And I put 20, I have Karl Anthony Towns.
Wow. Eric, we could not have a different 5 if there was ever a different 5.
Who's at 16?
Paul George. Paul George isn't a top 20 NBA player.
He is. He's at 18. He's top 20.
Oh, okay. I sorry. I thought you didn't say.
Yeah. No. I'm not ESPN.
Okay, I was about to say, guys, amazing defender, and still, listen, we know his playoff struggles, but right now we're seeing what Paul George at his height can be. One of the best players in the league. 17, the boy you mentioned, Donovan Mitchell. And I think when you get to this point, you start comparing him to other 2 guards, such as guys like Devin Booker, maybe like a Jamal Murray type or Bradley Beal.
Mm-hmm.
I think a little ahead of them because of what we've seen in the playoffs. So Mitchell's at 17. Right behind him, the guy we saw him battle with in the most ridiculous one-on-one battle we've seen in a while, Jamal Murray. If you're ignoring what Jamal Murray did in the bubble last year, we said this guy's a superstar. He was dropping 40 on the regular. Jamal Murray. At 19, a guy that I think has more talent than Murray and Mitchell, just isn't there yet because of team success, and that's Devin Booker. You don't have Devin Booker in your top 20?
No,
That's insane, Eric.
not really.
You have right now. You'd rather have Russell Westbrook instead of Devin Booker.
I mean, if you're
That-
at least Russell gets me to the playoffs.
That blows.
At
my
least
mind.
Russell gets me to the playoffs.
This Russell right now is going to get you to the playoffs.
Russell gets to the playoffs.
3 years ago, 4 years ago, maybe. Not this
Last
Russ right
year,
now. No,
Russ
no.
hasn't missed the playoffs.
Yes, on a team with the Rockets and James Harden. Put him on
But
the Suns with Devin Booker.
He could
Come
do
on.
what Devin Booker does and not get to the playoffs. Devin
You're
Booker
out-
doesn't get to the playoffs.
You're out of control. This is the
Not
first year.
top 20. Not top 20. Not top
This is
20.
the first year
Not
he has
top
a
20.
team. Anyway, Booker at 19. At 20, I don't think you said this guy, which is it's Bradley Beal.
He's just outside my top 20. He's coming up. He's not far. I didn't want to disrespect badly.
We know he's a lights out scorer, one of the best scorers in the league.
Better than Cat though.
I think so. What? Almost
Cat
to your point,
averages.
almost to your point, what we just said about Devin Booker is how I feel about Cat.
Cat's been to the playoffs though.
Yeah, no success though. Absolutely no success.
Doesn't need success when you've been there.
You need success, definitely.
Dude,
You've been there once, and you had Jimmy Butler. That's the reason you got there.
You averaged 20. You averaged 27, 11, and 5 on 50,
Fantastic.
40, 90 as a big. 50, 40, 80 as a big.
Well, listen, he's 21 on mine, so I'm not like that disrespectful.
Oh, okay. So we
21.
just slipped those. I had Bradley at 21. All right, we just slipped those. But you left Klay Thompson off, so I'll let that one go.
The fact you have Chris Paul and Russell Westbrook over Jamal Murray and Devin Booker is insane to me, because if you ask me if I
I'd
want
take Chris Paul over both of them.
You take Chris Paul over Jamal Murray right now.
Yes. I don't know if Jamal Murray can lead a team. I don't.
Boy,
I've seen it once. I've seen it one time. I've seen it one time. How? Okay, hold on.
Chris
Before we
Paul
get
cannot
into,
lead a team right now.
Hold
Let's
up.
be
Chris Paul just led a team to the playoffs.
bro. Okay,
Did he not? You were the 5th seed.
He led leadership wise, bro. He led showing our guys how to do things. He didn't lead getting 25 points a game.
Can I tell you what he did in the playoffs?
Oh my god.
He had 21 points per game, 7.5 rebounds at 6 foot, 5.5 assists, a steal and a half a block, only 3 turnovers, 49% from the field, 37 from 3, and 88 from the free throw line in 7 games. And that team should not have gone 7 games with the Rockets. And the reason I also have Russell Westbrook in there is because of a lovely thing I sent you a few weeks ago when I sent you Chris Paul's team and Russell Westbrook's team.
Yeah, true.
How bad was Russell Westbrook's team that he got to the playoffs?
They were bad.
And it's also a reason why I have Donovan Mitchell ahead of him and Paul George, because Donovan Mitchell beat both Russell Westbrook and Paul George to get to the second round.
Okay.
But my thing with Russell Westbrook is, look, during the regular season, he's still an All-NBA third-team player and an All-Star. His percentages is horrible. I understand that. He shoots bad from 3. He's not a great free throw shooter, and his playoff numbers are not good. But if you're going to tell me that one playoff puts Jamal Murray over a former MVP at this current time, I can't get on board with that, because I think a lot of teams would be better with Russell Westbrook than now. Look, I don't think Russell Westbrook would work with Jokic, and if they switch teams there, but I don't think Jamal Murray's working with a lot of. I don't think Jamal Murray and Bradley scares anybody, and I don't think Jamal Murray with James Harden scares anybody either.
That's insane, because I think that's very scary.
I'm not frightened.
Did you miss the bubble or something? Did you not watch that?
No, I watch it. He's on my list. He's there. He's top 30, easy. Top 20? Top 20 because of because of can you score 20 in the regular season? He's doing it right now, but like guys need a little room to go upward.
You're crazy. You're crazy.
Bro, I'm telling you, man. I just can't.
Russ there after you saw what he did. Anyway, fine. That's okay. I believe it's my
21
turn.
to 25, yeah.
I said Cat at 21.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everything you said before. He puts up crazy numbers. You just want to see the guy win. That's all it is. At 22, I think you might not like this. because it ain't Chris Paul, it ain't Russell Westbrook. It's Ben Simmons.
I don't like him ahead of those guys, but I don't hate that. He's
Ben
top
Simmons
25.
22. I think if you ask me what I want on a team right now, if it was out of Paul, Westbrook, and Simmons, I would take Simmons because playmaking is fantastic. We know the shooting sucks, but the defense he offers at the point guard spot, being his size, is ridiculous.
They can all defend, though.
Not like Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is definitely a better defender than them.
I don't think it's that significant. They can all defend. They're all good defenders. I mean, he is an all defensive first teamer. I'm not going to take that away, but he is a 7-footer guarding point guard.
Well, that makes him great.
But that's a matchup thing.
That's fine. If my point guard 6'10", I'm living good. At 23, Jaylen Brown.
Wow, that's fucking high.
I think he's really, we said before, he's not better than Tatum, like Kendrick Perkins said, but he's really breaking out right now. And he's still young. I got Brown at 23. And then to finish, like what you said, 24 is Chris Paul and 25 is Russell Westbrook.
Oh my God, Russell Westbrook's not top 20?
No, he's 25. And he's my favorite player.
Jaylen Brown's better than Russell Westbrook?
Right now, if you asked me, he is. Right now. In the past, no. But right at this moment, Jaylen Brown's a better player.
That's crazy.
I don't think it's
I think that's insane.
I don't think that's crazy at all.
At 21, I had Bradley Beal. We already went over that. That's fine. At 22, I also had Ben Simmons.
Okay. All right. So
I did. And you know what?
I thought you were going to have him at 30 knowing you.
Yeah, no, originally I had him a lot lower, but then I watched some more tape and I was like, you know what? Like, a lot of people can't do what he does. Like, he is big. I was joking around with some people and I said, yo, Ben Simmons is really just Rudy Gobert with a handle. But, but he's a little more than that. So I'm going to give him credit. At 23, I didn't want to disrespect the champion. I put Pascal Siakam. He was down. He was all the way down on my list at one point, but I moved him up. Just because of I tried to put people in Toronto the way and it didn't.
I disrespect it a lot when you see what happens.
I have no, put it this way. Pascal's definitely top 30. I don't have him. I don't know if he's top 25. I have him in my top 25. That's because I have other guys that I think can, like, other guys I want to see more out of. You know what I mean? So if he declines, he'll decline, and other guys that should be higher are going to rise up anyway. At 24, I have Trae Young.
Okay.
Easy. Top 25. At 25, I have Devin Booker.
You really disrespected Devin Booker, I think.
I really didn't.
I have him at 19. You have him at 25.
Can I explain to you why I have him in my because here's the thing. Devin Booker is definitely top 25. No doubt in my mind. And he has an argument all the way up to 23, in my opinion. I think him and Ben Simmons is an argument that Ben Simmons would win because of the defense, actually, and the playoff experience. And I was going to put him ahead of Trae Young, but I realized something. Trae Young and Devin Booker both have one All-Star appearance, and they both have one All-Rookie first team. Those are their total accolades over their career.
Okay.
Devin Booker has been in the league since 2015-16. 5-6 seasons.
Yeah.
I know you're top 25. I know you're nice. But, bro, you cannot not be in the playoffs this whole time and also not accomplish any regular season statistics. I understand you average 27. I understand what you are. You are a top shooting guard in this business. But you don't really have much. If I'm Trae Young, I look Devin Booker in the face and say, I've been here 2 years, and we have the same amount of fucking awards. Wait till I'm in my 6th year. We'll get to talking then. Because we both can't guard either. We're going to talk about people that can't guard. Devin Booker can't guard a soul.
Okay, but Trae Young is statistically the worst defender in the NBA.
Yeah, no, he can't guard it. That's why they're next to each other, because they both can't guard.
Yeah, they both can't guard. Agreed.
So that's how I have that. It's not a disrespect to Devin Booker. I originally wanted to put him right behind Paul George. But when I included Klay Thompson, I was like, all right, he's not better than Klay Thompson. If he's on the same team as Cat, I see Cat is the star and Devin Booker is kind of the two. Well, it's not a big difference. It's a small difference for me. I don't think he's better than Bradley Beal. And then it comes to guys that can defend and guys that have the same accolades as him.
I mean, listen, There's a reason we're two different people, Eric, right?
I got you. And you know what? I got my next 5 for y'all.
The final 5, right?
The final 5 up to 30. I can give you my 5 out too, but we can do that later. It's been a long episode.
Go ahead. Let me hear it.
26, I have CJ McCollum.
Wow.
Dog. At 27, I have Jamal Murray. At 28, I have Bam Adebayo. At 29, I have Chris Middleton. And at 30, I have John Morant.
Chris Middleton? You have
Chris Middleton. 50, 40, 90, Chris Middleton.
You have Chris Middleton?
Top 30.
That's absolutely ridiculous.
Top 30.
Let
me hear your 5.
That's absolutely ridiculous.
Let me hear your 5.
Okay, so at 26, Trae Young. Everything you said before.
Okay.
Absolute bucket. Will probably lead the league in scoring at some point in his career. He's amazing. Right?
I don't hate that.
27, I don't think you mentioned this guy, but I know you like him a lot. Brandon Ingram.
I do like Brandon Ingram a lot.
At 27, I have BI. I think every year he's improving. He seems to be a great scorer. To be honest, I don't know what he is defensively. I'm not even sure. I know he's got length, so maybe he can get some steals, but I can't imagine he's a great on-ball defender.
I really don't hate that. I like him in my top 30. He just didn't make the cut for me.
I have Pascal Siakam. I know you can say, how the hell do you have Brandon Ingram in front of Siakam? And
No,
Siakam, all that shit in the
fine.
final. I think if you know the game right now, when you see both players play, I think Ingram's more skilled. Ingram's a slightly better player.
Siakam's a better defender. That's the only reason I had him higher. But
at 29, John Morant. So we're close.
Okay, I have him at 30.
Obviously. And at 30, this one might shock you. And I think this guy's underrated. I think the team he plays for is garbage. They can never get a team right. That's De'Aaron Fox. I think De'Aaron Fox is actually a spectacular player. Can score. His shooting has improved. Can at times be a very, very good defender. That team in Sacramento, I know you can say maybe he's got some pieces, but they suck. They just suck. Marvin Bagley's dad wants him traded. Like it's a mess there. I'm not thrilled that he's at 30. I will say that. You can put other guys there, and I wouldn't be mad. But I just love that he's still young. He's still so athletic. He's improving. If he can actually get a team around him, we'll really see what De'Aaron Fox is. I have him at 30.
I think 30 is very high. Like I'm not gonna lie. You know how I told you before, I had a rough top 50.
Yeah.
I had a very rough top 50. De'Aaron Fox is on that list, but he's like 45, bro.
God damn, you disrespected him.
Not really. I put the guys I have just outside of the top 30. Kyle Lowry needs to get respected.
Okay.
Jaylen Brown, as you mentioned, just outside. I want to see more. Brandon Ingram, just outside. I want to see more. Rudy Gobert. I gotta respect his defense. I don't feel that. I mean, look, the Baguette Biyombo thing is fucking hilarious.
Hilarious.
So much sense. And Jared Allen bitched him the other night, but
it makes sense.
He's still an all-star. Domantas Sabonis, top 35, easy in my book.
Yeah, he is.
Blake Griffin.
Yeah, still a dog.
KP, Oladipo, John Wall, DeMar, D'Lo, Zach LaVine, Vooch, Drummond, then De'Aaron.
That's crazy to me, but that's fine.
Who don't you think is better than De'Aaron? I just want to hear the De'Aaron explanation. I understand he's good, but like top 30 already? Top 50, definitely.
Top 50, definitely. I think, listen, I said you could knock him down a little bit, but when he came out from Kentucky, I was like, I really like this kid. Plays hard all the time. It's just getting better every year. Has had games where he's going up against NBA's top flight guards, and it's going back and forth. I think he's not the perfect guard, right? He struggles sometimes being efficient. He's got a little rustle in him, but not as bad with that. And a part of me put him at 30 is because I think he's still going to get a lot better. And I know that's not what you're supposed to do with these lists, but with him, I feel like that's going to happen. So I'd put him there.
I could tell you, you know what? We think about it just to make it a little interesting before we head out. I think my favorite take of yours is Brandon Ingram. I would love to move Brandon Ingram higher. I didn't watch him enough.
I got BI at 27.
Yeah, I think he has a good argument to being a top 30 player.
He does.
That's my favorite take of yours. My least favorite.
I think a take of yours that I have to respect. I might have possibly. Bam. Maybe not at 13. Maybe at like 16. Maybe I drop a few. I ain't dropping them below 20. That's for sure.
Okay, your prerogative. That's your thing.
Yeah.
Do your thing. I'm not gonna lie.
That was a hell of a list, though.
My least favorite, Jamal Murray at 17. 17, right?
18.
Oh, 18? Yeah.
Close enough.
That's. I mean, look, I don't want to say that's my least favorite because I almost moved him up there too. And I don't want to the Bam one. I don't think Bam's anywhere near the top 13, but Chris Paul at 24, I don't really hate. I don't know. Russell Westbrook at 25. That's crazy.
You're thinking about the Russ of 4 years ago. You ain't thinking about the Russ now.
I'm thinking the Russ of last year. 26, 7, and 7. 43 from the field. I understand that's not good. 25 from 3. I understand that's not good. Still a good defender.
No, sir. Sorry.
What's your least favorite? What's your least favorite take on Mob, man? If you remember it.
My least favorite? Let me think.
The one that stuck out to you, because I know you don't remember my list at all.
I'm going to, and I love this player, but I'm going to have to say Chris Paul.
At 16?
Yeah, Chris Paul at 16 when I have him at 24. I just don't see how you think he's better than Jamal Murray, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal. I just don't see that. In my opinion, I don't see that.
Hey, man.
But again, like you just said, that's your prerogative. That's fine.
Dude's a winner. That's all I'm going to say.
No ring.
Dude's a winner. Dude's a winner, though. You cannot have you cannot have a ring and be a winner.
Yeah, this is true.
You cannot have a ring and be a winner. I would say Carmelo Anthony is historically a winner.
Sure. Yeah.
He does not have an NBA championship ring.
Sure, he's a winner.
But he got a table full of U.S. golds and an NCAA championship MVP right next to it. And y'all can hold that.
This is true.
But on that note, man, obviously this is definitely the list episode.
Yeah.
We're happy to be back. Great coming back. Shout out to everybody. Prayers up for Dr. Dre. He is in ICU. I seen that.
No, I think
he's okay though.
I think you put a tweet saying I'm back and I'm recovering. I'm good.
All right. Well, still prayers up. Hope no fucking complications from here on out. Prayers up. Paul Westphal passed away.
No NBA teams, no NFL teams. Stop with the COVID shit.
Yes.
No more COVID, ruining games and ruining seasons. None of that.
I'm trying to think of anybody else. Trevor Lawrence went pro. Congrats to him.
Yeah.
Spencer Dinwiddie had surgery.
Yeah.
Hope he has successful surgery. And that's if I'm missing anybody, prayers up to everybody and all them. Right?
Yeah.
The boy Keontae Johnson on Florida. Shout out to him. Shout out to the family of the boy at Utah too.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah, that's horrible. Really unfortunate situation. But hey, we're a fun-loving podcast over here, and we wish everyone in the sports world good positivity and good vibes. And I'm ready to go, man. How about you?
Yes, sir. This was a long one, but a good one. A good one. Good one to come back on. And, 2021 might be our year, Eric. That's all I'm saying.
2021 really might be our year. And shit, if it's not, 2022 definitely going to be our year.
Definitely going to be. Definitely.
But anyway, comment, subscribe on YouTube, comment, download on. Well, we haven't posted on YouTube in a while, but
fine though. Guys, it's hard with the YouTube shit. It takes
hard
forever.
with the YouTube. If y'all want it, if anybody wants to be a full-time editor, I will send you our software and you can do our YouTube videos. I promise. All right.
Yeah.
So reach out, brofluent@gmail.com. And also Podbean for those. I don't think we're gonna go in the Spotify direction, unfortunately for y'all. I know people have been asking for that, but Apple Podcast seems to be the wave. Spotify has a little time limit that they like to put on.
They got Joe Rogan. They think it's cool now. They're done.
So we will catch y'all.
Yep.
Appreciate it. Live, laugh, love, and we'll see y'all later.